Beautiful mixed bouquet of flowers is just $29.99 and sure to be greeted with a smile on Valentine's Day. We offer a big selection of the healthy potted flowers in a rainbow of colors and gift baskets of the finest candy from Modella Candies. At Big X, delivery is available now through Saturday. Let's hope you play Cupid this Valentine's weekend. Give us a call or just stop in and we'll help make it perfect with a beautiful mixed bouquet of flowers, just $29.99. We'll see you at Big X this week. Find us online at BigXNursery.com. We're on M84, 1 mile east of I-75, west side Saginaw Road, Bay City.
If you're not having regular, healthy bowel movements, you feel just plain yucky, mentally, emotionally, and physically. You know when things aren't right. Well, proper, effective, healthy elimination is easy to attain, and it doesn't involve laxatives, fiber, probiotics, diarrhea, nor constipation. The fact is, when you so many areas of your life get better immediately. So where to begin? Go to poopfix.com and take the 7-day poop challenge. Then try Viscera 3, otherwise known as Poop Fix. Within a few days, going to the bathroom becomes a pleasure.
I'm Dr. Rick. Poop Fix works because of its revolutionary ingredients. It's the way your lower colon should work. It means a gentle, clean, and easy poop first thing in the morning, and it's the easiest way to slim your waist fast by reducing bloating.
With Poop Fix, you'll see and feel the results within 7 days. Go to poopfix.com and take the 7-day poop challenge. That's poopfix.com.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 16 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Dave Maurer. Governor Gretchen Whitmer unveiling a $67 billion spending plan yesterday. The governor's 2020 budget proposal calls for spending $300 million to improve, including a prominent one in Dearborn.
These bridges are in counties spanning the state from Oakland to Ottawa, Genesee to Grand Traverse, Macomb to Iron. One of these bridges is the Miller Road Bridge, next to the Ford factory that builds one of Michigan's and America's most iconic vehicles, the F-150.
Whitmer's proposal also directs $225 million to small businesses, more than $90 million to step up vaccinations, and billions for food assistance and schools. City of Midland and Midland County residents are encouraged to participate in an online survey on diversity and equity. Last summer, after the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis was recorded and broadcast on social media, protests and riots erupted, even protests within the city of Midland. In response, city leaders posted to the city website a call for action titled "We Hear You," which promised to take a hard look at ways the city could improve to make it welcoming to everyone. The survey is a part of that process. To participate in the survey, visit cityofmidlandmi.gov. Bay City Central High School is looking for nominations of past graduates for the 2021 Central High Hall of Fame. Any graduate who has excelled in any endeavor is eligible for nomination, though there are some criteria to be met. Criteria questions include what bring honor to the school, what successes have they achieved, do they hold concern and compassion for their community and society, and have they made some type of contribution to humanity. The deadline for nominations is March 25th. Nominations should include the nominee's address, field of achievement, graduation year, and a letter explaining why they are being nominated. For more information, you can call 989-893-9541. The Michigan Department of Corrections has confirmed its first known case of the new COVID-19 variant in one of its facilities. Spokesman Chris Gouts says a highly contagious was detected Monday in a staff member at the Bellamy Creek Correctional Facility in Ionia County.
We put a number of measures into place to really slow down movement, to really restrict movement in between units. And then as part of the emergency public health order issued on Wednesday, it allows us to conduct daily testing of our staff. And then we're also doing daily testing of all the prisoners there so that we can make sure that we can stay ahead of this variant.
Daily testing is also taking place at facilities in Macomb and Jackson counties, where several prisoners who tested positive for COVID-19 were transferred before the new variant was detected. GW News Time, 9:08.
Traditionally, the symbol of romance is flowers.
Oh, honey, they're beautiful.
But flowers last, what? A few days?
A week, tops.
We think romance ought to last, like it's set in stone, forever.
I like the way you think.
Then let Stone Specialists bring you the romance of natural stone into your home. Since 1996, they've been your direct source for granite and quartz countertops.
Ooh, experience. I like that.
Stone Specialist in Midland will guide you through the whole process, from your imagination to installation. Their 10,000-foot showroom is filled with ideas. Choose granite and quartz from a range of captivating colors.
I already have a few in mind.
Increase the beauty and value of your home with new countertops from Stone Specialist. Start creating your new kitchen or bathroom now.
All I need are the details.
114 East Hine Street in Midland, at stonespecialist.net, or follow us on Facebook.
Got it.
Stone Specialist. Bring the romance of natural stone to your home.
WSGW News Time, 9:09. Genesee County Prosecutor David Layton has issued a warrant authorizing charges against a man accused of threatening the life of a Flint City councilman. The 44-year-old suspect is facing charges of aggravated stalking and being a habitual offender, making threatening phone calls to Councilman Maurice Davis. The charges indicated Davis was made to feel terrorized, frightened, or intimidated by credible threats against him and his wife. Davis is a lifelong Democrat who received national attention last year when he publicly supported former President Donald Trump. The State Attorney General's office has been asked by the Yakima County prosecutor to handle an insurance fraud case involving a sheriff's deputy who is also the son of Sheriff Brian Gilbert Sr. Michigan State Police are currently investigating the allegation of insurance fraud involving the deputy's personal car. Sheriff Gilbert said allegations occurred before he took office. As GM plans to increase production of pickup trucks, that means they will need more transmissions.
GM's investing $97 million at its Romulus transmission plant to increase machining capacity. That plant makes the 10-speed transmissions that go into Silverados and Sierras. Just last week, GM made a $75 million investment in Toledo Transmission for the same reason. GM needs the transmissions as it converts its Oshawa, Ontario plant for additional pickup production.
MNN Auto reporter Jeff Gilbert, who says GM is also investing $7 million in its Bedford, Ohio casting plant. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 9:10. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Snow in the area early today, otherwise mostly cloudy. Highs will top out near 22 degrees. Winds east around 5 miles per hour. Tonight it remains mostly cloudy. Lows drop to 12. Winds east-northeast around 5 miles per hour. Saturday, cloudy. Snow develops by afternoon. A dusting is possible. Highs approach 21. Winds east 5 to 10. Early, an additional dusting is possible. Otherwise mainly cloudy. Lows fall into the single digits above zero. And then highs reach 17 on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now it's 16.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning to you and welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. End of the week, it's a Friday, and doing it from our home studio as we have been since March, and no end in sight. So I've planted myself here. And on, here in Michigan on these single-digit days in the morning and slippery roads and things like that, I don't feel too sorry for myself. I didn't have to go out this morning. Anyway, here's what's ahead this morning. Later on during the 10 o'clock hour, we're going to talk to Brian Kolka from DTE about their MI Green program and renewable energy, and will it really be able to have the capacity for the electricity we're going to need in the future. And at 11 o'clock on Focus, Fuad Vakari, the maestro of the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra, will be our guest. But for this hour, it's open phones. That means whatever you'd like to chat about, 752-6111, and inside the state of Michigan, 866-790-WSGW. If you're outside the state of Michigan, you can call 989-752-6111. Most carriers don't charge you roaming in long distance anymore, so it's like a free call. We'd love to hear from you on this Friday morning. This is the day when the second impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump takes place in Washington. The defense team has said they don't expect to use all of their allotted time. They might even be done today instead of tomorrow. They have a total of 16 hours available to them, 8 hours a day roughly. They can choose to use it or choose not to use it. Once they are done, then there will be questions, written questions from the senators to the prosecutors, to the House managers, prosecutors, if you will, and the defense attorneys. And after that, there will be a vote. The vote could come this weekend. Some say it could be as soon as this weekend, otherwise probably Monday. And what's it going to be for the defense? How is it going to be different? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Senator Roy Blunt had his thoughts on it.
So people were preparing for weeks to assault the Capitol, which I think hurts their argument, and I also think wasn't available to them when they passed the impeachment resolution that said this is all about the president.
Senator was talking about the facts as he sees them that were not available, he doesn't believe, to the prosecutors, to the Democrats who brought the impeachment charge. I would expect today we're going to hear the defense talk about a number of things. First Amendment right, and that his language did not incite, that there was pre-planning for this on the social media sites for a long time before it actually happened. They're going to try and put a wedge between the president and the actions of the rioters, as opposed to, and I've said this before, the action of legitimate protesters who had what they believed was a legitimate gripe relative to the election. Right or wrong, that's not the point. The Constitution doesn't say you have to be right to protest. Constitution gives you the right to protest as you see the issue. So even if they were protesting on something that proved not to be true, it doesn't matter. They have the right to be there to protest. The rioters, on the other hand, that's a different situation. As far as I'm concerned, they're criminals. Use whatever word you want. Insurrection because it was against our government, that's fine. I don't have a problem with calling them whatever you want to call them. And I'd like to see every one of them go to jail. And I think they will. I think a lot of them will. I think there'll be a whole bunch of prosecutions. It's funny how now they're jumping on the notion that they were acting because their president told them to act. Well, I don't know if I buy that or not. I think these people were looking for a cause to riot, found it, used it, and should be prosecuted for the damage they did, the death that was caused, the destruction that was caused. And I just think that we should go full bore as a government. We should go full bore in prosecuting these individuals and not letting them get away with it. And it also sends a message to future rioters that there are consequences. And I looked at it as an attack on our government in the same way that I would look at a foreign power attacking our government. They invaded Congress. They destroyed things. They threatened people. They injured people. So, I do believe that the Democrats have made some good points in their presentation. I truly don't believe they're going to convict. Let's start with that. They're not going to find 17 Republicans. They may find a few. I mean, I would not be surprised if 6 to 10 Republicans voted with the Democrats. But that's not enough. You have to have 17 of them. So I don't believe that they're going to get a conviction. I think they made some good points, though, and I think the president, has to be asked and held accountable about these things. Why did it take him 2 hours to respond? Why did he wait? He was watching it. He could see it on television. He knew what was happening. So I think the president made some mistakes, and I think realistically, when you look at the chronological history of his crying foul about the election, you can reasonably say that he stirred the waters. But did he incite a riot? I'm not willing to go that far. I don't think he did. I think these rioters wanted a cause to riot for. They found it, they planned it, and they did it. I didn't hear the president tell anybody to take a fire extinguisher and beat police officers over the head with it. I didn't hear the president tell anybody to destroy the Capitol, to go in and ransack offices, do all of that. I think they were just looking for a cause, and they found it. But time will tell. We'll know probably early next week. I don't think, to be honest, the Democrats have to worry about the main issue they're worried about. That was Trump running again in 2024, because he had 74 million votes this time around. That's a lot of votes. And in any normal election, that's a win. This was not a normal election, to say the least. Probably wouldn't be if he ran again. But I don't think that's going to happen. To be honest with you, I don't think the Republican Party will allow it to happen. I don't think he would get the nomination anymore. This has been too traumatic for the party. The party is having a terrible time right now. They're split. They're losing members right and left. People are abandoning the party to a degree. And all of that has to lay at Trump's doorstep. Whether you like him or you don't like him, you got to look at what's in front of you. You got to face the reality that you're looking at. And the reality is that he's been a divisive figure for the Republican Party, and I don't think that he would stand a chance in 2024. Could be wrong. Never know. That's politics. But what can I tell you? All right, we're going to take a break, come back. Chris in Bay City will be up first when we return here on the Art Lewis Show. Let me take a moment to talk to you about Ram trucks. I want to talk to you about Thelen Ram truck. All you have to do is look around. You know that we as a population here in Michigan are in love with pickup trucks. They're predominantly on the highway. You see them all over the place, a majority of vehicles. And one of them is a Ram pickup truck, a fabulous, fabulous vehicle. Like one I'm driving this month, a Ram 1500 Bighorn quad cab 4x4. It's got all kinds of wonderful, wonderful accoutrements to it. It has great capability. It has leading technology. It's comfortable. And it gives you lots of confidence when you drive. The Ram truck has tons of class-leading features and tons of class-exclusive features. Try one out today. Take a look at Thelen Ram's inventory. Find one that suits your needs. Take it for a test drive. Then sit down with a Thelen Ram representative to buy or lease your new Ram pickup truck. Thelen Ram Trucks, North Euclid Avenue in Bay City, where they search for the lowest price on their new and used vehicles. That's the price you pay because it's the right thing to do. And you can visit them online at thinkthelen.com. We'll be back after these notes.
Small business owners don't have the patience for nonsense, especially when it comes to their internet provider. They want the best services for the best price. Simply put, that's Spectrum Business. They give you great value, zero nonsense. Just call 833-919-2121. You'll get fast, reliable internet and phone with no contracts and no hidden fees, all for a price that could cut your bill in half. Spectrum Business. Call today, 833-919-2121.
Dutch Boy's new Platinum Plus paint with Stain Shield technology has the performance you expect from a luxury paint at a price you didn't. Platinum Plus is up to 50% more washable and stain resistant than a leading premium paint in satin sheen. Superior to 50% depending on sheen selected. Platinum Plus keeps your walls looking new longer. Menards and Dutch Boy Paint have you covered. Go ahead, live your life.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Aurora cannabis shares are plunging after analyst Bill Kirk at MKM recommended selling the shares. Kirk expressed concerns about the company, saying its business was down 17% in its recent quarter. Kirk says Aurora collected more in COVID-related subsidies in the quarter than it generated in gross profit. He says the company also cutting her growth plan to get it out of the situation. Walt Disney shares are higher. It made a profit in the holiday quarter, which was a surprise, helped by its Disney Plus streaming service. American Girl dolls are back. Mattel says sales of the dolls rose during the holiday quarter for the first time in 4 years. Sales were up 9%, encouraging because some stores were closed and others saw fewer customers because tourism is down. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosolda, invested in you.
So much is happening, but who can you trust? You need to check out Newsmax TV, the fastest growing news channel in America. Watch it on all major cable systems and see shows with Sean Spicer, Greg Kelly, Lindsey Keith, Stinchfield, and Rob Schmidt. They're giving you the real story on Biden and Pelosi. So download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone now or watch Newsmax on Roku, YouTube, Pluto, Zumo, and Americans watch Newsmax TV. So should you.
Northeastern Paint Supply invites you to listen to the WSGW Focus Show with Art Lewis. Weekday mornings from 11 to 11:30. You'll hear local business and community leaders. Sponsored by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your car insurance with Right Track, which rewards you for safe driving.
As the world's most careful driver, that's perfect. Now applying 2 pounds of force for acceleration.
You really
turning in 0.3 miles and begin a deceleration.
With Liberty Mutual's Right Track, you could earn up to 30% savings based on how you drive. Sign up at libertymutual.com/righttrack.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Discount on participating vehicles, base coverages only. Availability varies.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel. Babbel starts by teaching you words and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon, so in 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking a new language in a few weeks. Babbel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just text TRY to 64,000 to start learning a new language today. That's TRY to 64,000.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and let's head to our phones in Bay City. We're going to find Chris waiting for us this morning. Chris, good morning to you.
Hey, Art, how's it going, man?
It's going well.
Hey, so we got a couple of things. You said the art of the reality, or maybe the reality in front of us. We have a problem, and that's censorship. Several videos had surfaced whenever the rioting was going on, and they have since been removed for community violations of physically removing barriers themselves, allowing people to access to the Capitol. All right, buses of protesters being bussed in with that documentation, people doing live streams of this, and they have since been removed, so people aren't seeing the real truth of this. The Capitol Police gave in, and they gave up their grounds. I remember defending and taking an oath to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic, even to the death. The Capitol Police did not do their job. So someone ordered them to stand down. This was not a bunch of people overtaking the Capitol. This was a direct order to stand down.
Yeah, hang on a minute, Chris. Who was the majority force there, the police or the protesters and the rioters?
That doesn't matter.
Oh, sure it does. Sure it does.
Give up,
if you're outnumbered,
keep up around.
If you're outnumbered, prudence is the better part of valor, as they say. And I do agree, by the way, that there is some question as to whether or not they removed the barricades and let them in. But that was not the primary result. The riot was not the primary result of that, because they were getting overrun anyway. And, smashing glass and breaking into the Capitol building. Okay, so if they let you through the barricade, does that mean you can now destroy the building?
That is correct. You obviously, you're right on. I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
Okay.
You don't have the right to destroy property. Just like with Antifa doing it all year. No, there wasn't a single peep.
I agree.
Side of the aisle about it.
I agree. I agree with that 100%.
So-called Trump supporters, quote unquote, it's a big ordeal. We have a double time, and we need to hold our elected representatives accountable by calling them, pushing them out of office, and holding them accountable to work for you, for and by the people.
Well,
they are not for anyone but the people.
Well,
and it seems so that they are not anymore.
But that's the way government's. That's the way government's always been. You have the ability to do that. All you have to do is get a like-minded group of people who are the majority voters to vote them out. You win and you lose. That's the way the government's set up. And if we don't like what our representatives are doing, we have the right to remove them if we can get others to agree with us. Because it's not just us; it's everybody. So it's,
and that gets into a whole other system of the voting ballot.
Well, that's a dead horse. It's out of the barn. I do think there should be. I do think there should be a scrutiny of the election system in this country to ensure that every vote counts that's a legal vote, and that those that are not legal votes don't count. But to go back on this election, forget it. That's a dead horse. It's out of the barn. The barn door's closed. And nothing's going to change it. Nothing's going to change it. And I'm not sure that even if there had been complete, open, thorough transparency, that you would have found 7 million votes changed. I doubt that very much. Were there discrepancies? Sure. Were there discrepancies?
The people need to do their part and hold their elected representatives accountable.
Always. Rob, always, not just now. Always. Always.
Oh, of course.
That's our responsibility. All right. Hey, Chris, I appreciate the call. Thanks. Bye-bye now. Yeah, look, it is our responsibility. It's the words of Abraham Lincoln, and they've been recited a number of times during the House manager's prosecution of the case. Of the people. And I have to tell you, I did... a few years ago now, I did the Lincoln portrait with the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra. And as part of that narration, you read at the end part of the Gettysburg Address. And I've always heard it read as, of the people, by the people, for the people. I kind of changed the emphasis when I read it. Because what I said at the end was, of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. And I emphasized people because that's what this government is. This is a government of people. We, the people, have the power. But remember, just because you think it's so, somebody else may not think it's so. So when you say we have to replace so-and-so, our representative so-and-so, you've got to get a whole bunch of people to agree with you. It's not simple. It's what politics is. It's complicated. Why do you think you're inundated with phone calls? Why do you think they get nasty in politics today? Well, I can tell you why. Because dirty politics works because people respond to it. If we stop responding to the negative ads, they would go away because why waste your money? If we, the people, demanded that our representatives, when running for election, stuck to the issues, and told us what they were going to do, and that's what we responded to, that's what we'd get. But that's not what happens. We're inundated with robocalls. We're inundated with advertising, radio, television, print, you name it, social media now. And it's a nasty, dirty game. And my fear is we are driving good people from politics, that we are not going to get the kind of quality people that we really need to do the job. Tom is in Bay City. Tom, good morning to you.
Good morning, Arthur. I've basically watched the entire impeachment trial from beginning to this point. I'm a little disheartened, frustrated that the senators, the 100 senators, and, you know, I understand politics and it's split, and I understand that we, in order to convict, that there's going to have to be 17. I think 17 from the Republican Party. They're going to have to be convinced that President Trump did incite these people to do what they did, and, you know, that he's the cause of it. I don't see that happening. I just think that they're going to vote their party line to begin with. But what really bothered me in the past 24 hours is that the jurors are just sitting down and, I'll just say, collaborating with the prosecutors.
How so?
Well, they claim that they've met with them to discuss strategy on how to handle the defense of President Trump.
The defense or the prosecution?
Well,
or both.
The we actually both. You know, they're coming up with a plan to defend the president and prevent the prosecution.
Well, understand this, Tom. Impeachment is a political act. It is not surprising that the political parties within their ranks will discuss with their managers or their defense attorneys strategy. That's not a surprise. And remember, they have to do that outside of the trial portion because they must remain silent during the trial. They must, under pain of imprisonment. They could go to jail if they speak up during the trial. So they cannot speak.
I understand that, but the House members, the impeachment
managers,
they can discuss amongst themselves on how they're going to prosecute. But when you have the 100 jurors, the United States Senate, actually going in and talking to the defense attorneys, a juror is not in any court throughout the land, Arthur, you know this, that the jurors can't go talk to the prosecution or the defense attorneys while the trial is going on.
All right, let me tell you something. Talk to any lawyer. First of all, this is not a trial. They call it a trial, but it's not a trial under the legal system in the United States. It is a political trial. It does not follow the same rules as a court-bound trial. If it did, 90% of the evidence they used would be discarded, either as hearsay, irrelevant, what have you. This is a political act. Don't put the same standards on it that you would put on a court because they don't apply. So if the jurors, that is the senators of one party, want to go talk to the people representing their party and defending their man, so to speak, they're more than welcome to do that outside of the actual proceeding because it's politics.
Well, and I understand it's politics, but that's where I 100% disagree with you. That they should be silent. They should base the case on the merits. You know, if they honestly don't think that President Trump had anything to do with getting all these people fired up to go to the Capitol, to storm the Capitol, to injure, maim, kill, destroy the place, then I can understand it. But I think.
Well, I think you have a particular view of it, and that's fine. But so do they. And just remember to put the word politics in front of it, and it explains it all. Because this is a political situation, and that's the end of it. And I got to run because I've got to take a break here. I'm late for. But listen, we'll
Sounds
talk
good,
more
sir.
about it. Tom, I appreciate the call, though, and appreciate your thoughts. Thanks. Bye-bye. Mike, hang on. We'll get to you in Bay City after these notes on the Art Lewis Show.
Get huge savings with fuel rewards every time you fill up at one of your 26 area Forward Shell convenience stores. Get at least 5 cents off a gallon every single fill up and earn even more when you make purchases in store. You can regularly save 10, 20, even 30 cents off a gallon, which means less money goes into your tank and more stays into your wallet. Visit fuelrewards.com to sign up and start saving today. That's Fuel Rewards at your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Any credit card can offer cash back, but only Discover matches all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year. It's like getting one of those birthday cards that's shaped like cash, so you already know there's cash inside before opening it. But in this case, it's stuffed with your first year cash back match, and you don't even have to send a thank you note. Cash back match. Only by Discover Card. Learn more at discover.com/match. Discover. Something brighter.
The spread of COVID-19 is still unchecked across the nation, and you need to keep your family safe. Make a new habit and check your temperatures twice a day, once before dinner and before leaving home. To take chances, so use the Exergen Temporal Scanner. Its accuracy is backed by more than 80 clinical studies, and it takes an accurate reading in seconds. It's the only home thermometer used and recommended by hospitals, doctors, and nurses. Quick and easy to use. You can count on Exergen to keep your family safe 24 hours a day.
Today on Hey Culligan, hard water hurts appliances. Go for Glenn in Glenview.
Yeah, hey Culligan, my appliances aren't that old and they're already on the fritz.
Sounds like your hard water might be giving your water appliances a hard time, but there is hope in the form of a Culligan high-efficiency water softener that helps extend the life of dishwashers, washing machines, heating systems.
Okay, hey Culligan?
Yeah, Glenn?
Yeah, hook me up.
Glenn, one high-efficiency appliance-saving softener already on the way. Let us help you out with the free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
According to the National Institutes of Health, 30% of hospital admissions in older adults are drug-related, like taking meds at the wrong time. Hero Health simplifies medication management. 90 days worth of up to 10 different pills. It dispenses them at the push of a button. Try Hero risk-free for 30 days and get free contactless delivery. Just call 800-420-7550. That's 800-420-7550. 800-420-7550. Hero, medication managed.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, he lost weight. More important, cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend went, and she lost 20 pounds in the first 2 months. So does Mark Patrick hypnosis work? Oh yeah, it works. Nothing has changed my life more. Well, except maybe my husband. He's so proud of me. Makes me cry.
Isn't that great news? Join Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar and lose the weight, stop smoking, or end anxiety for only $49.99 guaranteed or your money back. Because of coronavirus, the seminar is now online, live Thursday, February 11th or Saturday, February 13th for the Saginaw area. Details at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
You're in studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, welcome back. Let's go back to our phones on the Art Lewis Show. We have Mike in Bay City with us. Mike, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
Enjoyed the commercial break.
Glad. Thanks. It allows me to keep doing what I do. So.
Yeah, well, a friend of mine bought a new Dodge Ram pickup.
Oh, good.
And he loves it.
Excellent.
So, yeah. Anyway, here's my dilemma. Since I know that I could never get Dane Kildee or Gary Peters to talk to me directly, I was wondering if you could pose this question to them sometime.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, what's the question?
I want to know what is wrong with America being energy independent and having secure borders. I would love to hear an explanation of that because
yeah, I
energy.
Knowing both of them, I don't think either of them would argue against energy independence. The methodology to get there they may argue about. And I don't think either of them would argue against secure borders. The question is what constitutes a secure border and how do you get there? You know, when you ask generic questions like that, you're going to get generic answers. And that's the nature of the beast. And I know these guys, and I have a great deal of respect for them. Politically, I may not agree with them on everything, but I have respect for them in terms of their integrity. And I'm sure that would be the answer. We do believe in secure borders, but their version of it and your version of it may be different. Energy independence, their version of it, and your version may be different.
Okay, I understand that. But I guess, you know, I would ask them for an in-depth explanation.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what.
What they believe and why they believe it.
I will try and see if we can arrange to get them on the show here in the near future. I think Senator Peters has told me he'd come on, so, and I know that Representative Kildee too. So we'll try and get them on in the near future and pose some of those questions, see what kind of answers we get. But just remember, remember they're politicians. Just always remember that. Both sides of the aisle, doesn't matter who you ask, they're politicians.
I agree with that 100%.
All right.
It's like,
there you go. Mike, we'll try and get them. Thanks. Take care.
Okay, thanks, Art.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Let me squeeze Mark in Oscoda on, and then we'll take a break. Mark, good morning to you, and welcome.
Good morning, Art. How are you today?
We're doing well. Hope you are.
Yeah, driving through snow squalls.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah. Hey, my question is in your top of the hour newscast, another 75 deaths were reclassified again for COVID. Is there a way you can have an individual who's in charge of that come on and explain, you know, why it supersedes the original cause of death of a heart attack, cancer, or whatever it is?
Yeah, we can try. We can try.
Is that a Dana Nessel type question?
No. She's the Attorney General. It would be Dr. Khaldun from the health department, or even local health departments. We'll try and get somebody on from one of the health departments to talk about that. I suspect, and again, this is a guess on my part, but I guess what's happening. Let us say you die from a heart attack.
Sure.
But let's say you had a heart condition, and then you contracted COVID-19. Did COVID-19 then cause you to have a heart attack? And even though you died of the heart attack, could they say COVID-19 was the cause of that? And I think that may be what's happening when they go back and they relook at some of these things. But again, I'm speculating, so we will try and get an expert on to answer that question because it's a good one.
What about like death policies and, you know, insurance claims? Do they recognize COVID as a natural cause of death, or is that?
If you died from COVID-19 and you had an insurance policy, your beneficiaries would collect.
Okay.
Yeah,
and is there money kicked back? Do we know? Is there money from the government back to the state for COVID deaths? Do you know?
I don't know where that's at, so I'll have to find that out. I have no idea. I don't know if they're being, you know, paid dollars for the nose. I don't know. So we'll have to ask.
Fair enough.
Appreciate it.
Alrighty, sir.
Drive carefully.
Yep. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Yep. Thanks.
All right, we'll take a break and be back with more here on the Art Lewis Show.
Spectrum Mobile is the fastest growing mobile provider in the nation. It's easy to see why millions have chosen a better way to mobile. With Spectrum Mobile, there are no contracts and no added fees. Even nationwide 5G is included at no extra cost. Switch today and you could save big. Grab your current mobile bill and use the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator to see how much you can save. Go to spectrummobile.com/saving today. Spectrum Internet required based on Q2 2020 subscriber data. Services not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-573-9552. That's 800-573-9552. 800-573-9552. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you iHeartRadio app.
Hey, Matthew, we need to restock those sleeping bags.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Can one of you cover this register?
Like at Anita's Outdoor Store. To keep sales climbing, she needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Listen to this radio station on the Radio.com app. Discover and enjoy your favorite music, news, and talk radio from live stations across the country. Listen anywhere on all mobile and home devices with the Radio.com app.
Here's a drive from Smith. Handoff inside Dickinson for a two-hand cram.
Michigan basketball is back. The third-ranked Wolverines visit Wisconsin this Sunday with coverage beginning at 12:30 p.m. and sponsored by News Radio WSGW.
All right, back with me here on the Art Lewis Show. Before we get to John and Freeland, I want to talk to you about Blue Cross Blue Shield for a moment. When you choose Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan for your Medicare coverage, it's easy to get the care, tests, or treatment you need whenever you need them. When you need to access care, Blue Cross provides you with more options that work for every lifestyle. Schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. And if you'd like to stay close to home, give the Blue Cross 24/7 nurse line a call or schedule a virtual doctor visit. Whenever you need assistance, Blue Cross will connect you with the information and the help that you need. With a Blue Cross Medicare plan, you'll never have to go without your medication. Their easy-to-use prescription drug plans allow you to refill and pick up your medications from your local pharmacy or have them delivered by mail. Get access to the care you need as soon as you need it with Blue Cross, the company with more than 500,000 people in Michigan trusting them for their Medicare coverage. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. And to see what other members are saying, go to bcbs.com. That's bcbsm.com/seniorcare. Back to our phones on the Art Lewis Show, and we have John with us in Freeland. John, good morning. Hello, John.
Yes, good morning, Art.
Good morning.
Yeah, I just tuned in, so I'm not sure what your subject matter is today.
It's all right. We're open.
Okay. First of all, COVID vaccines. My wife and I just received our second COVID shot yesterday in Mid-Michigan.
Very good.
Medical in Midland, and we're all set, I hope.
Yeah, I get mine at 1 o'clock today. So,
okay.
And let me ask you this.
Yes.
Any aftershock, any problems afterwards?
No, none whatsoever.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. Okay, second item I wanted to talk to you about just allowed online gambling, I believe. Are you aware of that?
Oh, what's that? Am I aware of online gambling? Oh, yes.
Okay, well,
inundated with it.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a couple of comments on it. Hopefully, the state of Michigan, when they allowed that to happen, they're getting a tremendous amount of tax revenue for that.
Yeah, I would hope so, too.
Yes. And the second item is, it's funny, I was watching TV last night, and of course, it seems like every other commercial now is for online gambling, but then the state of Michigan comes in with their problem gambling. Little...
I mentioned this the other day. I saw what we call a stop set in the industry. That's your commercial breaks. Okay. I saw one that had online sports book A, then the state of Michigan problem gambling spot, and then back-to-back online sports book B. Yeah. Back-to-back, three of them, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And it's you have to be careful here because it's been a boon in advertising dollars for the media.
I'm sure it has.
We have a conflict of interest built in.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a two-sided sword.
Absolutely.
I feel sorry for the people that had the gambling problem, and now they're exposed to this. Made it so easy for them to go ahead and do it. But I hope, like I said at the beginning, I hope the state of Michigan, has a real strong stream of tax revenue coming in from this.
Here's what I'll leave you with, John. Yeah, there are problem gamblers, and there are mechanisms in place to help them. They represent, according to the casinos that I've talked to, about 15% of the gambling population. Mm-hmm. I would suggest to you that 15% of the drivers on the road don't handle their vehicles properly and are reckless and speed and do all kinds of things. But we don't take away their cars. We don't take away cars from everybody else. So gambling is kind of like the same thing.
Yeah. So you just have to use a lot of common sense. And
yep. I mean, I asked the question, how much is too much? Where's the saturation point? And in a capitalist society, the saturation point is when people don't use your service and you go out of business. Sure. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but with all of them out, I think I've counted at least 7, and there may be more. I may have missed some. It's unbelievable. I mean, it really is unbelievable.
They're just coming out of the woodwork now.
Yep. Or out of your phones and computers and everywhere else.
Okay, well, that's all I wanted to comment on this morning.
I appreciate it, John. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now.
Good luck with your second shot this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye now. I think, it's another case where the horse is out of the barn. The online gambling is here to stay, just as casinos are here to stay. And listen, we the people made this decision by using our dollars. In the same way you make a decision as to whether restaurants or stores stay open by how you spend your dollars, you make that same decision about gambling. If you are a gambler and you want to spend your entertainment dollars on gambling, that's what you do. And you know full well going in, the odds are against you, but you're gambling that maybe you'll get a win here and there. And that's the business. That's the nature of gambling. Their profit is, and those casinos have not been built on losers. Let's be honest about it. They've been built on winners. I'm sorry, those casinos have been built on losers, not on winners. And, it's here to stay, and it's here to stay. And if you don't believe it, just look at the dollars they take in. They're not going anywhere. And I expect these sports books will be exactly the same way. All right, let's take our last break, and then we'll be back to close out this hour.
Hello, this is Ron from All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. In uncertain times, rely on All A's to keep your vehicle running its best and your family safe. All A's offers vehicle pickup and drop over the phone and offers after-hours key drop to limit face-to-face interaction. Doing business with us. That's why All A's only fixes what we say we're going to fix. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Does All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair have the assurance of their customers?
All A's staff was very courteous and competent. They quickly diagnosed the problem and fixed it. It was done before the promised time.
I appreciated the fact that they were upfront with cost and consistent with price as quoted.
Every time I've ever had any vehicle out there, you guys have always done an amazing job with it. Thanks.
In fact, more than 98% of All A's customers would refer family and friends. See for yourself at All A's Auto Repair. Automotive and Transmission Repair, just 2.5 miles from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Hi, this is Mike Avery, and here's what's coming up this week on Outdoor Magazine. First, the airborne angle about ice conditions on Saginaw Bay. In hour number 2, talking about the shooting sports at the high school and college level with Matt Gay. And in hour number 3, we're talking trophy wintertime pike fishing through the ice on tip-ups with Taylor Pearson. Listen Sunday mornings at 9 and 790 WSGW.
All right, that's going to do it for this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be talking to Brian Kalka from DTE about renewable energy. Coming up, first part of the next hour, and then time permitted, we'll have more chance for open phones. And at 11 o'clock on Focus, we'll talk about the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra with its musical director, Fuad Fakari. All of that coming up, but CBS News is first. Then the local report here on WSGW. I'll be back to talk to you right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Cammie McCoy. Begins its case in Donald Trump's impeachment trial.
You don't make a decision as a juror until you hear both sides. Period. End of story.
Republican Senator Bill Cassidy, who voted the trial was constitutional. President Biden is wondering which way Republicans will go. The vote could come as early as this weekend. Here's correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
In an impromptu exchange with reporters on the North Lawn, where the First Lady had giant Valentine's Day hearts placed, the president was asked for his thoughts on the impeachment trial.
I'm just anxious to see what my Republican friends do with this stand-up.
Aides have stressed Mr. Biden is not intensely following the trial. Today he meets with a bipartisan players to push his COVID rescue plan. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News.
CBS. Summary of the CDC's recommendations for reopening schools. Correspondent Nancy Cordes reports a lot will depend on community spread where the schools are located.
These guidelines are also expected to include mitigation strategies like masks and hand washing, resources devoted to under-resourced communities, prioritizing teachers for vaccines, and accommodating high-risk educators with virtual teaching or flexible schedules.
The winter storms are arriving a little late, but with a fury. This tow truck driver in Oregon.
I advise everyone to stay home. It's not safe at all.
Here's meteorologist Jeff Baradelli.
The polar vortex, you can think of it as like a catapult, and it is catapulting. And one of those is in Virginia and North Carolina with some ice. Watch out, it's going to be like a skating rink. Very dangerous there. The next storm is a big one, a whopper, banging into the west coast. Seattle, Portland, 6 to 12 inches. Into Texas, heavy snow, Dallas, ice down to Houston. This is going to be a big and dangerous ice storm for the Deep South.
Valentine's Day is Sunday, in case you forgot. Here's correspondent Diane King Hall.
Valentine's Day cards this year are a sign of the times. Companies are selling cards with pandemic-themed messages. One has a picture of a thermometer with the words, "I'm so hot for you right now, ISO date." Another says, "I'm bored of lockdown. I'll never be bored of you." Greeting card companies say people have increasingly turned to cards for connection during the pandemic.
Bars in New Orleans closed early this morning, leading up to Mardi Gras. Reporter Asha Staples.
6 o'clock is when this all started. All bars, both indoor and outdoor, now closed beginning today through Mardi Gras Day. No packaged liquor store sales in the French Quarter. All to-go sales are banned.
This is usually their busiest time of the year. Large gatherings are also banned because of the pandemic. The Dow is currently down 62. CBS News.
Indeed delivers great candidates fast. In fact, Indeed delivers 4 times more hires than all other job sites combined, according to Talent Nest. More at Indeed.com/credit.
The all-new Halo LED is the industry's first LED in-duct whole home air purification system that's both mercury-free and zero ozone compliant. The Halo LED treats all air-conditioned space, reducing airborne and surface contaminants and pollutants. It's easily mounted into the HVAC air duct and wired to your furnace for seamless operation. The Halo LED was independently lab tested to reduce 97% of airborne bacteria, including mold, 99.9% of surface bacteria and viruses, and will kill 99% of microbes in a human sneeze within 3 feet. Best of all, the Halo LED has successfully proven to kill 99% of flu germs on surfaces. Not only will the Halo LED save you from germs, but it will also reduce odors, particulates, smoke, and call Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning today to speak with someone about how Halo LED can significantly help your indoor quality. Hashtag got flu?
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, too much.
For your free quote, call 800-573-9552. That's 800-573-9552. 800-573-9552. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Their price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 16 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Dave Maurer. A $67 billion budget proposal was unveiled by Governor Gretchen Whitmer yesterday. She spoke about the spending plan yesterday for the largest investment in K-12 schools in Michigan history.
Some highlights include $203 million investment to increase the base per pupil funding and an increase of $14.1 million to continue implementing the weighted foundation model that ensures that students in special education programs, students facing poverty, have the resources they need to succeed in our public schools.
The governor's budget proposal also calls for spending $300 million to repair or replace approximately 120 local bridges in serious and critical condition. The County Road Association of Michigan has come out in support of that plan by the governor. WSGW's Ann Williams reports.
The plan is part of the governor's proposed $67 billion budget unveiled this week. Michigan Department of Transportation Chief Bridge Engineer Matt Chenoweth said on MDOT's podcast that the bridge bundling concept would be
the concept is just to have, instead of letting a bunch of individual projects and have individual designs and individual costs, you bundle them all together, get economies of scale, and you get the bridges done quicker.
The County Road Association of Michigan says 1 in 8 Michigan bridges are functionally obsolete, and many are rated serious, critical, or closed and have significant weight restrictions. They say the governor's proposal is in line with their organization's recent call for a legislative approach to secure significantly more money for local bridges before there's a catastrophic failure. Ann Williams, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
More than 15,000 people in Michigan have died after contracting COVID-19. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services reported 75 additional deaths yesterday linked to the virus, 55 of which were discovered during a check of death certificates. The state also announced 1,284 more confirmed cases of the virus, bringing the total over 572,000 began. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
Hi, this is Ray from Begic Nursery and Garden Center in Bay City. This Sunday is Valentine's Day, and with love in the air, this year we're making a Valentine's weekend at Begic's. We have an abundance of the freshest and most beautiful flowers you'll find, including fresh roses in just about every color. Also, we have a great selection of balloons, and we can add one to your floral order or make a beautiful balloon bouquet. At Begic's, a beautiful mixed bouquet of flowers is just $29.99, and sure to be greeted with a smile on Valentine's Day. We offer a big selection of the healthy potted flowers in a rainbow of colors and gift baskets of the finest candy from Modella Candies. At Begic's, delivery is available now through Saturday. Let us hope you play Cupid this Valentine's weekend. Give us a call or just stop in and we'll help make it perfect with a beautiful mixed bouquet of flowers, just $29.99. We'll see you at Begic's this week. Find us online at Begic Nursery or 1 mile east of I-75, west side Saginaw Road, Bay City.
WSGW News Time now 10:08. A court could decide today the fate of a Gaylord restaurant for violating a restraining order not to serve food after having its license revoked by the state. The Iron Pig Smokehouse has been in a pitched legal battle with local and state officials over the right to stay open for business against an indoor service ban during the pandemic. A Cadillac high school teacher resigned ahead of a special school board meeting scheduled last night to consider tenure charges. What was called a concerning email led to the teacher being placed on administrative leave with orders not to contact students or staff. No charges have been filed as a state police investigation continues. The Biden administration is now getting involved in the global microchip shortage that has caused a lot of problems in the auto industry. MNN Auto Beat reporter Jeff Gilbert has details.
The White House says they're working with trading to get more chips into the pipeline and doing a long-term review of the global supply chain. During his talk to the Automotive Press Association yesterday, UAW President Rory Gamble said he'd like to see more of the chips made in the USA.
America only produces about 14% of the chips that is used in auto manufacturing. The rest is all offshored from China, Taiwan.
The chip shortage has caused the idling of auto plants around the world. Jeff Gilbert, the Michigan News Network.
In Monroe County, a man has been indicted for hate crimes after attacking a pair of black teenagers. More from MNN's Jason Scott.
Lee Mowat is charged with 2 counts of willfully causing bodily injury to a teenager and attempting to hurt another. His reason, their race. It was last October. The 42-year-old confronted the teens at Sterling State Park. He was repeatedly using racial slurs. People had no right to use the public beach. Witnesses say Mowat became angry over loud music, calling a group of people the N-word. He then struck one of the teens in the face with a bike lock, knocking out several teeth and fracturing their jaw. If convicted, Mowat faces up to 10 years in prison for each count.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see mostly cloudy skies here for today with a high getting into the lower 20s. Winds out of the east around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, a slight chance for some snow showers here late. Mostly cloudy skies with a low around 12. By Saturday, a chance for snow showers here. Cloudy skies, a high around 21. And on Sunday, partial sunshine develops. We'll see a high around 18. Monday, partial sunshine. Then by Tuesday, a chance for snow, cloudy skies, a high of 19. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 15.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, the Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Delighted to be with you today. By the way, the first day you can submit your taxes to the IRS. We'll talk about that later on. But for the first part of this hour, we're going to talk about energy, and we're going to talk about it with someone who's very much involved in it. He is the Director of Renewable Energy Solutions for DTE, and we say good morning to Brian Kalka. Brian, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
We're doing good. Hope you are too. I want to talk about renewable energy from a number of vantage points, but I want to start with a program that you're into now called MI Green Power. So let's start with an overview of what MI Green Power is all about.
Yeah, well, thank you for the opportunity to talk about it. Actually pronounced My Green Power, is a voluntary renewable program that DTE Energy offers for its electric customers. And when you take a step back and you look at renewable energy here in the state, there's two big buckets, I would say. First off, we have to generate 15% of all of our energy from renewable resources every year. That's mandated by the state law, and every electric company here in the state of Michigan must adhere to that. But what we have seen above and beyond what we are providing through the law is customers, whether they are homeowners like you and I, whether they are small business customers or even the largest customers in our service territory, they want to make a bigger impact as it relates to climate change. And they want to attribute more, even up to 100% energy usage to renewable energy projects here in the state. And that's what My Green Power is. It's a very convenient way for customers to match their energy usage to very cost-effective, large-scale utility projects here in the state.
So I have to ask a question. If all your utility customers all at once said, we're all signing up for My Green Power, would you have enough renewable energy to supply it?
At the moment, no, we would not. You would need thousands and thousands and thousands of acres to do that. Obviously, if that opportunity presented itself, we will definitely be ready to do just that, but we're not quite there yet. As you know, you can see these very large-scale solar projects or even wind farms out in the state. They do take up some pretty decent footprint to electricity. So, if and when that time comes, you will see very wide-scale deployments of renewable energy here in the state.
It's an interesting question, Brian. What's the state going to look like by, let's say, 2040, when you want to be off of fossil fuels? What's it going to look like? And are we going to have the resources to be able to provide all of the electricity we will need for not only business, but electric vehicles coming on board and everything else? Is it feasible to say that we will be weaned from fossil fuel by that date?
Yeah, that's a great question, Art. The way that I would position this is it's not only going to be here in the state, but this is a nationwide transformation that we are embarking upon. And specifically to answer the question, we'll look very, very different in 2040. Just think at that point in time, our coal generation will be reduced significantly, if not gone altogether. In its place will be a large proliferation of renewable energy projects throughout the state. And what we would also see, which is just starting out, is battery storage. Because what happens, right, as we know with a solar park, it generates a lot of electricity during those afternoon hours when the sun is shining brightest. But as we know, all of our customers, you and I included, we need electricity at night. So the technological advancement that really is going to be the game changer is how do we take energy that is generated in the day, you store it, and then you use it in times when the renewable resources aren't generating power. So that is going to be a major focus of us. But also every other utility here in the United States.
I have to ask this question as a energy planner. If I said to you, Brian, you have to plan your energy footprint down the road, and you're in Michigan, where we don't have the kind of sun they have in Arizona, how much reliance do you put on solar and how much do you put on wind?
That's a good question. What we've seen historically is wind products and wind projects were more cost effective than their solar equivalents. Here in Michigan, we have a decent amount of wind. We have a decent amount of sun, not as sunny, of course, as like in Arizona or Texas or some of those southern states. But up to this point, we've really been focusing on wind as the predominant technology standpoint. But what we have seen here over the past year, maybe 2 years, and what our forecasts are showing is that solar is actually going to be the more cost-effective technology from a renewable standpoint. And what we're seeing is you're getting some policy impacts from that, or due to that, what's happening is you're getting tax credits that are helping out, making it more cost-effective, but you're also seeing some technology improvements within solar. And one of the key ones that I like to talk through is people are used to, myself included, of seeing a solar panel in an open area and it's fixed and it stays stationary and it takes the sun and it converts it into electricity. Well, technological advancements over the past couple of years have actually created a technology where the solar panels will move over the course of a day. It'll track the sun that actually goes down in the evening to maximize the amount of electricity that can be generated from the solar panels. So it's really an interesting time to be in this space. A lot of technology advancements, a lot of pilots we call them, where we're running tests to see what these projects can deliver, and we're going to see a lot of enhancements here going forward.
Brian, I'm going to get you to hold on. I want to do another segment with you, and we'll talk more about the the My Green Power program from DTE and how you get involved and the good that it does. We're talking to Brian Kalka. He is the Director of Renewable Energy Solutions at DTE, and we will be back after these notes.
Menards is your one-stop shop for everything to make your hardwood floors beautiful. With the largest selection of Minwax stains, we have what you need for any staining project. Refinish your floors faster with Minwax Complete One-Step Floor. For existing polyurethane floor finish, meaning no sanding for you. In a gloss or satin finish. Grab a gallon today for only $64.99. Prices good through February 13th.
Save big money at Menards.
I am so ready to go back to work.
I just need a chance.
So where do I start?
MidMichiganWork.com. Moorbark is now hiring welders, machine operators, and other skilled positions. No training? No problem. Apply for Moorbark's welder training program and earn while you learn. For more details on this position, other local companies that are hiring, and how to apply, go to MidMichiganWork.com. That's MidMichiganWork.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Brands were overpriced, overdesigned. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, limit honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. A Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 6677 at check. Code 6677. Enjoy.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
stocks opened lower. It's shaping up to be a quiet session heading into the three-day President's Day weekend. The markets will be closed on Monday. Walt Disney stunned Wall Street by making a profit in its holiday quarter, even though the pandemic has turned its movie and theme park business upside down. Disney's theme parks in California, Hong Kong, and Paris remain closed. Others have limited attendance. Expedia shares have been trading lower after the online travel service than expected in its holiday quarter. Electronic components company II-VI is offering to pay $6.5 billion for laser maker Coherent. Coherent already has a deal to sell itself to another tech company. Lumentum is based in San Jose, California. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Still not sure what to get him for Valentine's Day? Well, Untucked shirts are the comfortable, easy-to-wear gifts that every guy loves. And that's because Untucked shirts are designed to be worn untucked, so they help guys to look sharp. Can't go wrong with our best-selling fabrics like wrinkle-free cotton and performance with stretch. Use code RADIO for 20% off your next purchase at any Untucked store or at untucked.com. Untucked makes the perfect Valentine's Day gift. Use code RADIO for 20% off. Untucked shirts, designed to be worn untucked.
Northeastern Paint Supply invites you to listen to the WSGW Focus Show with Art Lewis. Weekday mornings from 11 to 11:30. You'll hear local business and community leaders. Sponsored by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City.
Here's a drive from Smith. Handoff inside Dickinson for a two-hand cram.
The third-ranked Wolverines visit Wisconsin this Sunday with coverage beginning at 12:30 p.m. and sponsored by Forward Energy on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Welcome back. The Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Talking to Brian Kalka, the Director of Renewable Energy Solutions for DTE, one of the two major power companies in the state of Michigan. Brian, my mind works in strange ways. So you have the My Green Power program, and let's say that I'm a small businessman who uses a reasonable amount of energy, and I have a choice. I can come to you and say, Brian, I want to sign up for your My Green Power program because I want to be responsible and I want to help in the climate change problem. Or, Brian, I like your program, but I'm just going to put a solar panel on my roof. Why do I need you? What do you say to me?
We get that question quite a bit, actually. And usually I frame the response a discussion around flexibility as well as one of cost. So first off, let's talk through the cost. Obviously, we know the mechanism of My Green Power. You pay some incremental dollar amount for attributing your usage to renewable projects in the state, and that's flexible. You can do 5% of your energy use all the way up to 100, and you can enroll and unenroll at any point in time. There's no contract signed or what have you. And the cost stream of that enrollment as compared to an equivalent one for a panel up on the roof of your building, it's multiples cheaper. It's a couple 100% cheaper than, or it's half the cost of what a traditional rooftop array would look like. And really what that speaks to is this concept of large-scale projects being just more cost-efficient because you can spread your costs across a large number of panels as opposed to a smaller number that might go up on your roof. So scalability and the scale of projects really drives costs down. But also, and I alluded to this a second ago, is the concept of flexibility. With My Green Power, you can enroll, you can unenroll whenever you would like. Once you put panels up on your roof, however, they are there. And it's extremely expensive to remove them. And if you want to move buildings, your business is growing, as an example, you then have to take those with you, or you hope that the person or the company who is going to be moving into the building where you reside also has an aspiration to have panels on their roof because, quite frankly, a number of businesses really don't want to deal with that on top of their roof. So, the way that I would say it is, My Green Power is more flexible. It is more cost effective. But I would say that if the decision for a business is to do nothing or to put panels up on their roof because they want the world to see that they're passionate about addressing climate change, we would obviously support putting panels up on the roof than doing nothing.
All right, so let's go back to my small business. I'm sitting here. I'm sucking energy from your coal-fired and oil-fired plants and got natural gas. And I wake up one morning and say, okay, I want to reduce my carbon footprint. So where do I start? What do I have to do to sign on to My Green Power?
There's two really simplistic ways that would allow you to sign up. First off, you can go to our website, and that's mygreenpower.com, with the my spelled M-I, and then greenpower.com. Or we have a hotline where you can call into, and then we will enroll you into the program. And the number for that is 855-613-45. Either of those are very, very simple ways to enroll into the program. It should take you no more than a few minutes, and then off you go.
Do that phone number again.
It's 855-613-4445.
And that'll get you signed up. So if I do that, let's say I sign up for that program. Current electric bill versus future electric bill, how much of a difference?
Obviously, that would depend on what percent you can enroll in, because the flexibility allows people to match their enrollment level with their budgetary constraints. I would say on an average basis, if our average business enrolled at 100%, you're probably looking at the $15 to $20 a month range. But again, we do have some businesses that just want to attribute 5% or 10%, and they can get down to $1 or $2 a month. So there's a lot of flexibility there with respect to the cash outflows that you want to spend on the program itself.
So what's been the response to the program so far?
Yeah, the response has been, it's far exceeded my personal expectations. We have been in existence since 2017. I would say, though, the real strong marketing efforts and sales efforts with the program started back in 2019. We currently, from a homeowner standpoint, we have around 25,000 customers enrolled in our program. From a small business standpoint, we have more than 250. And then we also have some of the largest, most companies in Southeast Michigan enrolled in the program as well, such as Ford Motor Company, General Motors, the University of Michigan, the Detroit Zoo. Really, all different industries are benefiting from participation in this program.
Have to believe that they're in at small percentages, though, because you can't possibly supply them with the energy they need on this program, can you?
Well, actually, it's quite the opposite. And General Motors is a great example of this. So they originally enrolled about 30% of their energy usage in South, and maybe about 2 years ago. And then back in April of last year, they said, you know what, DTE, we want to go bigger. We want to have a bigger impact on the environment, and we want to attribute 100% of our energy usage to renewable energy, which is just phenomenal to see that type of passion for the environment. And General Motors is a leader in this space across the industry for sure. And what that did is, when it speaks to how we build our projects in the state, we will build enough renewable projects to meet the demands and the needs of our customers. So with that General Motors enrollment of 100% last April, we did not have enough capacity from our renewable resources to meet that demand. So we have submitted approval for 3 large solar projects that will be here in the state of Michigan once we receive approval here in the coming months. So a lot of growth in this program, a lot of renewable projects here in the state. And one of the other benefits we get, which speaks to the name of My Green Power, and My is spelled M-I as we spoke about, it's the benefit that the state of Michigan receives from these investments and projects. It creates jobs, it creates tax revenue streams. So not only are we helping the environment here, we're helping the state of Michigan and the residents of the state of Michigan at the same time.
Brian, let me ask you this. Ford comes along and says 100%. General Motors comes along and says 100%. If Ford were to do that, you'd have to build, obviously, more infrastructure to cover it. Do you have access to that kind of land? Because that takes a whole bunch of footprint to put all that solar panel installation down, doesn't it?
It does. So we are in the process, along with Consumers Energy and other utilities in the state, of going to procure land for all these projects. And, it's a long process. You have to engage the communities. You have to find the land that's contiguous in nature so that it's not chopped up, so you can put all the panels or all the wind turbines close together to maximize the cost efficiencies that you can gain. But yeah, you have to get the land. You have to get the engagement from the communities in order to meet the demands of these of the customers. And we've been doing that for years. We have many, many projects in the state already. So we have a lot of experience in participating with work groups and with the communities to locate land and to get approval for the land. So for us, it's just to build even more.
So how long before you think you'll be mostly dependent on renewable?
That's a really, really great question. I would like to think we have plans here over the next couple of years that we've announced where we will be shutting down some of our coal plants. And we have to wait and see how fast we can build the renewable energy to figure out what we do with the rest of our fleet. So we have a few other coal plants that are needed right now, just because reliability is critically important for our customers. And those plants have the ability to turn on, to turn off really, really quickly, so that when the power needs of our customers are there, we can meet it. But we are running numbers of scenarios right now with on policy changes at the national level, policy changes at the state level, costs of doing more renewable energy. And we're still developing those plans, but rest assured, we are aggressively looking to get out of the coal business and to be more renewable sooner as opposed to later.
I have to ask this about coal because for a long, long time there was quite a bit of research work done, and scrubbers were installed, and we heard the term clean coal. Is there no way to utilize coal and have a very, very low emission that's acceptable, or is it that bad a product now?
So we have made, to your point, we have made a number of technological improvements within coal. Scrubbers is a great. However, even in spite of all of the technological advancements with the coal process and the coal burning process, they still do emit some level of emissions. And given our aspiration as a utility to be net zero carbon emissions by 2050, it's hard to achieve that net zero component with any level of emissions getting into the atmosphere, let alone what a coal plant could generate. So really for us, this is full speed ahead on renewable energy, but complementing that with batteries and other types of technology like nuclear. And nuclear is a technology that is pretty clean as well.
You just anticipated my last question, And as I was about to ask it, I looked on my screen and we had a caller ask if nuclear has a future.
It does have a future. The with nuclear is just the upfront cost of building nuclear plants. There are a couple in the United States that are being constructed right now. There are about 100 nuclear plants across the country as we speak. There are a few that are being constructed right now, and they've come across some challenges in terms of constructing them and cost overruns and those types of typical construction challenges. I personally feel that there is a path for nuclear to contribute towards the net zero emissions structure in our aspiration to do that. There are also an advancement in technology of what we call small-scale nuclear reactors, which could have a place in this solution set going forward as well. But a lot of advancement still needs. But to answer the question shortly, I surely think that nuclear will have a place in a carbon-free electric infrastructure.
Well, Brian, I want to thank you for spending some time with us this morning. Good conversation, and good luck with the My Green Power initiative. Again, it's MI Green Power. And what's the website?
greenpower.com.
Very good. Brian, we'll talk again. I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Art.
Have a great day. Bye-bye now. Brian Kalka, the Director of Renewable Energy Solutions for DTE. We thank him for his time this morning. We'll take a break, come back. Lines are open now for the remainder of the hour. Anything you want to chat about, it's 752-6111, 866-790-WSGW. More ahead on The Art Lewis Show.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Hello, this is Ron from All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Even with so many of us homeschooling or working from home, and your car sitting in the driveway, your engine's oil and other fluids are breaking down over time. Let All A's keep your vehicle running smoothly and your family safe. Schedule your oil change and fluid service with us today. Remember, All A's only fixes what we say we're going to fix. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Is All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair a business you can depend on?
Just moved to Midland. Was dreading finding a new auto shop. Search over. I, in turn, highly recommended them.
They did a great job getting me in fast and had excellent communication with what was going on with my vehicle through diagnostic and repair.
In fact, 96% of All A's customers rank them 4 or 5 out of 5 stars. See for yourself at allaysautorepair.net. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair, just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Planning for retirement can get really complicated if you're not getting the right guidance and advice.
If you're stuck in that job you hate, how do you know when you can retire? Sit down with an advisor and start the income planning process. Up until this point, you've been planning for accumulation. You've been getting ready to retire. Now it's time to focus on retirement, and you need to change that focus to income planning.
For more help like that, tune in to Simply Financial with Kevin Ray. Saturday mornings at 10 on News Radio WSGW.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for a $20 King's Fish and More for only $10. That's right, you're getting it half off. King's Fish and More is open Tuesday through Sunday and has such an eclectic menu, you're sure to find something that you love. Like the Eddie King Burger, their Southern Raised Catfish, or my personal favorites, the ribs. Do yourself a favor and head over to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show,
it's the Friday Five, and we're stringing up Robbins. Let's swing the axe. Sorry, we need to tone down the rhetoric.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins, weeknights at 7 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. And good morning to those of you watching on Twitch.tv and on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. Nice to have you with us this morning. Back to our phones. Al is in Midland. Al, good morning.
Good morning, Arthur.
Morning.
Hey, I had my dad's first wife had a father, my half-brother's grandfather, named Miller, that worked down in the Fenton area, worked for DTE. And up until the 60s, we never bought light bulbs. They had a plan, DTE had a plan where if you turned in a bad light bulb that was burned out, they would replace it with a good working one.
Really?
We filled up grocery sacks, paper grocery sacks full of burned out light bulbs.
I would do that,
we never bought light bulbs up until the 60s, or until after the 60s.
And, of course, back then they burned out with great regularity, so...
Oh, yeah. But we never, every bulb we sent down,
got one back.
Somebody else's bulb,
Yep.
it was replaced with a good working one from DTE. And I just thought that was a strange, his first wife passed away from leukemia or something, so my dad remarried, and that's where the separation happened. Back in that days when you had a illness like that or a condition like that, it was a death sentence. And,
was that so? Was that light bulb program only for DTE employees?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We were sneaky.
All right.
Sneaky.
Yeah, you'd send him the light bulbs and he'd get them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we in the paper grocery sacks filled with burned out light bulbs, take them down to Grandpa Miller down in the Fenton area, and he would turn them into DTE, and he'd bring back grocery sacks full of brand new bulbs.
Yeah, it was cool. Good for them.
We were sneaky about it.
Yeah.
We weren't supposed to do it, but
you did it anyway. I got it.
we did it.
All right.
Thanks, Arthur.
Take care.
Have a nice weekend.
Yeah, bye now. And let's move on. We'll talk to Chris in Saginaw. Chris, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
Good morning.
I tuned in late to the conversation, but my question is, we are loaded in the state of Michigan. The Lower Peninsula sits on natural gas, and I can't. And they say it's very low emissions in relationship to natural gas. Why wouldn't we just, if you don't want to use coal, use natural gas?
Because their plan is to go zero emissions. They want zero carbon emissions, and low emission is not zero. I asked that question to consumers a while back at a meeting I was at a couple of years ago when Patty Poppy was still president of consumers, and she did a presentation on their plan by 2035 or whatever it was to be, zero emissions. And that's why, because even natural gas has a certain stack emission, and they're moving away from all of that. They want to be totally emission free. It sounds good. Whether it's feasible, whether it's actually going to happen quite that way, I find it hard to believe that they can get rid of every fossil fuel plant they have and replace it strictly with solar and wind and maybe in some cases hydro. I have to believe they're going to have some backup and some, ready power in case they have a problem. But I'm not the expert. I certainly don't have a degree in electrical engineering and all of that. So I don't know. But it is a reasonable question. And I asked that question because I always thought gas was a natural alternative, and it was also relatively cost efficient.
Yes, yeah, and the other, too bad. Usually, if you were, they were trying to build that nuclear plant in Midland, and the cost and the regulations just got out of hand.
Well, there were a lot of reasons that plant failed. A lot of reasons.
Yeah,
shoddy construction was one of them. The public opposition to it causing tremendous delays and cost overruns. There were a lot of it wasn't managed well.
Yeah.
There were a whole bunch of reasons. that plant failed. At the same time that failed, an identical plant, although not with the cogeneration feature, was being built, I think, in Tennessee, and it came in under budget on time. So you really have to ask yourself what the difference was, you know.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing, too, is I'm concerned with the people that are trying to use it a lot as far as the solar energy and wind, i.e. California. And, man, when they have a problem, I mean, there's people without power for a long time.
Well,
you know?
their problem's there when they have a problem also. Some of it is forced because of fire potential and things of that nature, and they cut it back. But listen, I don't think there's a perfect answer. Nothing is foolproof. So what do you do? All right, Chris, I got to run.
What do you do? Okay, thanks.
Take care, my friend. We'll be back to get to Jim and Freeland after these notes on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW.
If you're not having regular, healthy bowel movements, you feel just plain yucky mentally, emotionally, and physically. You know when things aren't right. Well, proper, effective, healthy elimination is easy to attain, and it doesn't involve laxatives, fiber, probiotics, diarrhea, nor constipation. The fact is, when you have better bowel movements, so many areas of your life get better immediately. Go to poopfix.com and take the 7-day poop challenge. Then try Viscera 3, otherwise known as Poop Fix. Within a few days, going to the bathroom becomes a pleasure.
I'm Dr. Rick. Poop Fix works because of its revolutionary ingredients. It's the way your lower colon should work. It means a gentle, clean, and easy poop first thing in the morning, and it's the easiest way to slim your waist fast by reducing bloating.
With Poop Fix, you'll see and feel the results within 7 days. Go to poopfix.com and take the 7-day poop challenge. That's poopfix.com.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-573-9552. That's 800-573-9552. 800-573-9552. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Count on the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the best products for your car. Get maximum cooling system performance for 10 years or 300,000 miles with Peak Long Life Universal Pre-Mixed Antifreeze and Coolant. On sale now for just $5.99 after mail-in rebate. Plus, earn double O-Rewards points. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
Auto Parts.
So much is happening, but who can you trust? You need to check out Newsmax TV, the fastest growing news channel in America. Watch it on all major cable systems and see shows with Sean Spicer, Greg Kelly, Lindsay Keith, Stinchfield, and Rob Schmidt. They're giving you the real story on Biden and Pelosi. So download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone now or watch Newsmax on Roku, YouTube, Pluto, Zumo, and more. 30 million Americans watch Newsmax TV. So should you.
There has to be.
We are in the middle.
A news center.
Moving to the middle.
Where can work together.
I am right in the middle of it. And I cannot tell you how happy I am to speak with you.
News coverage on WSGW.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and back to our phones. We go to Freeland, and Jim is waiting for us. Jim, good morning.
Good morning to you, Art. I listened to that gentleman from DTE, and one of the first questions in my mind was when they do away with the, the generating plants we're used to now, coal or natural gas, which I'm a member of the Bay City Yacht Club, and we have 2 plants across the river from us. And there's, solar arrays. There's one on Pierce and Mackinac, small one. Then there's a very large one near Gratiot off the Lone Road south of, or a huge array. Just how many acres would it take to replace one of those generating plants with solar array?
I don't know. That's an interesting question. For example, if they leveled all of that ground where you had the coal plants and you still have that big peaking plant there, if they leveled that ground, could you put enough solar panel installations on that ground to replace the energy generated by those plants? I don't know the answer to that. It is a very good question, and it was part of the reason I asked him, what the footprint is going to look like down the road. What's Michigan going to look like? Are we going to have windmills everywhere? Is that the new landscape? I don't know the answer.
Well, a lot of people, I think, in the thumb were getting tired of all the windmills because I think they had a vote a year or two ago if they wanted some more, and I believe it was turned.
Well, it's community by community, but yeah. I just I can't fathom what it's going to look like, because personally, I don't have to look at them because we're here in Saginaw. We don't have any sitting in front of us. I don't know that I'd want to live someplace where I got to look out my window and see, dozens of turbines, wind turbines, half of which don't turn most of the time, which always intrigued me. I understand solar and I understand how it works and doesn't work, but I always was curious about why all these wind turbines that aren't rotating. And I guess it's a demand thing. I don't know.
Well, it's something else that the power plant, requires maintenance, updating, blah, blah.
Yep.
And then...
well, so do the turbines.
And so, and the solar panels, they're kind of, I would think, then the washing down to clear the screen off. But it's a big reduction in maintenance, I would think, with solar panels.
How well do they work in the snow? What do you have to do when it snows out? I don't know.
Off, just like I did my driveway.
Exactly. How do you do that with a solar panel? I don't know. Oh, well, time will tell.
Yes, take care. Thank
you.
You
too, Jim. Thanks. Last call goes to Susan in Bay City. Susan, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I was just laughing listening to this because, we've already seen how well this works with the zero emissions because of California. And if you remember, all year long, they had the brownouts, they had alternating power where today you get to plug in your appliance, and tomorrow maybe your neighbor might. And
yeah, but I'm not sure. They're not at 100%. They're not.
Imagine how if they were.
California's at 100%. No emission power. Is that what you're saying? 100% now. All their energy comes from solar and wind?
No, I am telling you that would give you an idea how well the zero emissions would work.
Well, yeah, but you also remember that a lot of their brownouts were because of fire risk.
Yeah, you tell yourself that.
Okay,
and my other thing,
you choose not to believe it.
Well, it's like President Trump always said, fake news. But my whole thing was actually on a positive. I wanted to call and tell people, remind them of our small towns. Uptown Bay City, we got Bay City Antiques. We've got, St. Lawrence Brothers. A lot of nice little shops and restaurants are opening now so people can come in there. And it just makes a nice day. People wander through with their families and come uptown. And I just wanted to remind people that that's a good way to spend a weekend or a day or something.
You and I are going to end in total agreement.
You see families up there really enjoying themselves and enjoying the day.
Yep, I wish she'd loosen the reins and open restaurants further so that we can get out. I think the numbers are artificial. So anyway.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you there. Hey, Art, we're in agreement.
All right. Have a great day, Susan. Take care now. We'll be back to close out after these notes on the Art Lewis Show.
What makes fast cash from the Michigan Lottery so thrilling? The progressive jackpot that keeps building with every ticket sold all day long. From the moment you wake up, the jackpot. You're in the shower. It's still building, even while you're working. it's still building. Until jackpot, a winner, right on the spot. The fun keeps building with Fast Cash, only from the Michigan Lottery. Knowing your limits is always the best bet. When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see smile lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
Paid for by Lose Debts. Attention, this is a very important message to anyone with debt exceeding $10,000. With the worldwide stock markets free-falling, coronavirus being labeled a global pandemic, cities and whole countries in quarantine, and layoffs picking up speed, the last thing you need to worry about is your credit card bills. Due to the recent global events, a special debt relief helpline has been created for anyone with over $10,000 in debt, but you must call us at 800-515-1671. As banks shore up capital bracing for a recession, they are willing to settle your debt for a fraction of what. Perfect time to eliminate your debt and save your money during these tough economic times. There are no upfront fees, and we offer a 100% money-back guarantee, but you must call us at 800-515-1671. This opportunity won't last long, so call us today at 800-515-1671. You have enough to worry about. Settle your debt and remove that unneeded stress. 800-515-1671. That's 800-515-1671.
You've heard the name Mike Lindell, the founder of MyPillow, several times in the news in recent weeks. But do you know his real story?
The drug dealers actually did an intervention. 14 days. They cut me off everywhere, even in the streets. I came back up, and one of them said, you know, you've been telling us for years that this pillow thing is just a platform for God. You're going to come back and help us someday.
Don't miss the next Big Impact. Sundays at 9 p.m. on WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Tomorrow morning, the day before Valentine's Day, and your heart, cardiologist Dr. Eric Swedelich will join us to talk about your heart and how to keep it healthy. Coming up now, we have news at the top of the hour from CBS and the local report. Following that, focus, and our focus today, as I have mentioned, is the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra. Talk to you right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kathan. It's Team Trump's turn. Impeachment trial. Comment this morning from President Biden.
Anxious to see what my Republican friends do. Will they stand up?
He says he wonders if Republicans will stand up to convict Mr. Trump. Democrats need 17. CBS's Nicole Killian on the direction for the defense after Democrats used video of the Capitol attack.
Former President Trump's legal team will counter by showing video of prominent Democrats allegedly making inciting statements to bolster their argument that the language Mr. Trump used during his rally is protected.
House impeachment managers have not made it clear whether or not they will call witnesses. The CDC is rolling out new color-coded guidelines today. Dr. Anthony Fauci tells ABC's Good Morning America the administration's goal of getting kids back in classrooms is within reach.
The president has said that he wants to get essentially 100% of the K-8s open in the first 100 days. I think that's doable. What you want to do is make sure it's safe for the teachers and other personnel.
The rules say vaccinations for teachers are not necessary as long as protocols are followed. CBS's Mark Strassman tells us the pandemic has not put the brakes on one of the sports world's big events set for Sunday, the Daytona 500.
At Daytona on Sunday, 30,000 fans will watch the race instead of the 2,000 plus. And on the track,
our athletes are in a car by themselves. They're already wearing gloves and a helmet. They're isolated from each other.
Dave Alpern's the president of Joe Gibbs Racing.
The ones who do get to go to the race, what will they notice is different? I think what will be a little bit different is it just won't be completely full. But I think once the race starts, it's going to sound the same. It's going to look the same on the racetrack.
The NFL's Houston Texans have released one of the game's top defensive stars, J.J. Watt. In a Twitter statement, he says he asked to be let go.
I'm excited and looking forward to a new opportunity, and I've been working extremely hard. It is always tough to move on.
Watt was a hero for Houston for hurricane relief efforts back in 2017. New action on social media targets a group that's done some of its work undercover with secret video. CBS's Jim Krasula.
Twitter has suspended the account of U.S. conservative activist group Project Veritas for repeated violations of its private information policy. That prohibits sharing or threatening to share private information of others without their consent.
Checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 10 points and the NASDAQ is up about 6.5. This is CBS News.
Facet affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
I am so ready to go back to work.
I just need a chance.
So where do I start?
MidMichiganWork.com. Moorbark is now hiring welders, machine operators, and other skilled positions. No training? No problem. Apply for Moorbark's welder training program and earn while you learn. For more details on this position, other local companies that are hiring, and how to apply, go to MidMichiganWork.com. That's MidMichiganWork.com.
Listen on the Radio.com app. Connect with your favorite radio shows through contests, social media, and podcasts. Create custom alarms with your favorite radio stations, all free with the Radio.com app.
Get a free 30-day supply of Super Beets Chews, plus a free 30-day supply of Super Grapes with your first purchase when you shop at GetSuperBeets.com/Sky. That's GetSuperBeets.com/Sky.
Live. 0.5 and 790 Newsroom. This is WSGW News.
16 degrees. 16 degrees at 11:04. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. She's calling it the biggest investment in K-12 schools in Michigan's history. Governor Gretchen Whitmer unveiled her third executive budget on Thursday, which includes $570 million to address learning loss and K-12 enrollment declines, on top of a $162 per student increase, $162 per student increase in base aid for most districts. The governor is also calling for a major investment and bridges.
I know you're probably sick of me saying fix the damn roads by now, but I'm not going to stop until we rise to meet the true infrastructure challenges our state faces. This budget helps us get there with real investments, like $300 million to repair approximately 120 local bridges, including 60 that are so dangerous they should be closed right now.
Whitmer's $67 billion spending plan for 2022 is a 7% increase over this year's budget and does not call for tax increases. The former State House Speaker will be leading in economic development. Lee Chatfield has been hired as the new CEO of Southwest Michigan First. As a lawmaker, he helped bring a new arena to Kalamazoo by supporting the Regional Event Center Financing Act. Southwest Michigan First focuses on privately funded developments to drive economic growth in those 7 counties. A state administrative judge has upheld the food license suspension of a Holland restaurant for ignoring a pandemic-related dine-in ban. The owner of Merlina's Bistro and Pizzeria had ignored not only the ban, but also cease and desist orders and the subsequent suspension from local health officials. Did not enforce mask wearing for staff or customers, as well as social distancing. The judge said the owner had rejected the health department's authority. WSGW News Time is 11:06.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
WSGW News Time is 11:07. 34-year-old Daniel Vaughn was last seen in the 1100 block of River Forest Drive in Flint Township February 4th. He left the area in a silver 2007 Ford Fusion and may have traveled to the Beecher or Mount Morris areas. He's considered endangered. Vaughn is black, 6 feet tall, and weighs 165 pounds. He was wearing a light gray Nike hooded sweatshirt labeled Just Do It with dark jeans and a pair of tan Timberland boots. Anyone who has information about his whereabouts should call Flint Township Police or Crime Stoppers. Genesee County Prosecutor David Layton has issued a warrant authorizing charges against a man accused of Flint City Councilman. The 44-year-old suspect is facing charges of aggravated stalking and being a habitual offender. He's accused of making threatening phone calls to Councilman Maurice Davis. The charges indicated Davis was made to feel terrorized, frightened, and intimidated by credible threats against him and his wife. Davis is a lifelong Democrat who received national attention last year when he publicly supported former President Donald Trump. Bay City Central High School is looking for nominations of past graduates for the 2021 Central High. A graduate who has excelled in any endeavor is eligible for nomination, though there are some criteria to be met. Criteria questions include: what has the nominee done to bring honor to the school? What success have they achieved? Do they hold concern and compassion for the community and society? And have they made some type of contribution to humanity? The deadline for nominations is March 25th. Nominations should include the nominee's address, field of achievement, graduate year, and a letter explaining why they are being nominated. You can get more information by calling 893-9541. Kalamazoo Public Schools will stick to remote learning for the remainder of the year. The school board last night made the decision upon the overwhelming preference of teachers and staff. Parents have already generally accepted staying virtual through the end of the school year, June 11th. An alternative plan would have had in-person learning only 2 days out of the week. The White House says Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan has been invited to take part in an Oval Office meeting with President Joe Biden. The Biden administration's American Rescue Plan will be a meeting today of governors and mayors. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has told Detroit it will be reimbursed about $18 million to cover the city's coronavirus-related costs, including money spent on administering vaccines. Duggan says Detroit has paid for staff and rented space at a downtown convention center where vaccines are being given to residents driving through the facility's underground garage. When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see today with a high getting into the lower 20s, winds out of the east around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, a slight chance for some snow showers here late, mostly cloudy skies with a low around 12. By Saturday, a chance for snow showers here, cloudy skies, a high around 21. And on Sunday, partial sunshine develops, we'll see a high around 18. Monday, partial sunshine, a high around 12 degrees. Then by Tuesday, a chance for snow, cloudy skies, a high of 19. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 15.
Now, as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is brought to you by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
And good morning and welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. I'm Art Lewis. Today we focus on the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra, and we do that with its musical director and conductor. We say good morning to the maestro, Fuad Fakari. Fuad, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing well. Hope you are too. Hope you're surviving COVID without any problems.
I'm trying.
Yeah, aren't we all? Aren't we all? And COVID has caused quite a change in the way you have to present the orchestra now. It's a virtual world, at least for a while. And you've got one coming up, don't you?
We do, yeah. Actually, it has been time, right? It's been interesting for all of us, but this was going to be our second virtual concert. We had one in October of last year. This is our second, and we actually recorded it about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago now, and we are just blessed, honestly, to be going back to the Temple Theater and performing together as musicians, although distanced, but performing and being able to do what we do together. It is unfortunate that we can't have our audience with us because, you really realize very quickly how much you feed off of the audience. You always know that, but really, really feel it. But we're hoping that after this concert, when we come back for our last season concert in May, hopefully restrictions might have been eased by then and we can have sort of a hybrid, maybe some, we stream it, but maybe have some audience as well at the theater. That's the hope.
Out of curiosity, looking ahead past even May and looking into the 21-22 season, if you will, now that you've had this experience streaming, is it reasonable to think that you might always use the hybrid? That is, you'll have an audience in the theater, but you might offer it on stream later on after the concert?
that has been a serious discussion. One of the good things about COVID is that it really has forced us, and I think it's forced everyone to sort of rethink what we do and how do we present what we do. In all media, whether it's radio, TV, symphony, everyone is thinking about these things, and that is a serious consideration that we will. From now on, we will video record all of our concerts for not only archival purposes, but to be able to stream them or provide them for our audiences after they attend the concert. So it is a consideration, yes.
Now let's talk about we'll talk about the specifics of the concert right after the break coming up here. But let's talk about how the audience participates in these virtual concerts. I assume there's a cost.
Yes. So the concert will stream this Saturday, February 13th, at 8 p.m. Audiences can go to our website, and there's a link. And once you purchase the link, and the link is not terribly expensive, $12, $10 or $12, and you purchase that link, and then you will be sent a separate email afterwards, and you will have access to that concert, and it will be available. That link will be available for 30 days.
Do your season ticket holders have privilege?
I think so. I haven't been really involved with the details of how we go about that, but I do think I think season ticket holders might get that link in advance. But I'm said, I don't want to say something that I'm not completely sure about.
I got it. All right, I got to take a break, Fuad. When we return, we'll talk about this concert coming up tomorrow here on Focus on WSGW as we focus on the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra. More ahead after these notes.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paints, Home Decoration Center.
There's going to be one day this winter. The temperature will be 10 below. A 45-mile-an-hour wind with blinding snow is making it seem like 50 below. Is your garage door going to be ready for that day? Call M&R Garage Door now. M&R can service your existing garage door and opener, both residential and industrial. Or M&R can install a Clopay insulated garage door to keep your home warm. Make sure your garage door is ready for that day and every other day this winter. Call M&R Garage Door 894-0971, where service is their specialty.
The spread of COVID-19 is still unchecked across the nation, and you need to keep your family safe. Make a new habit and check your temperatures twice a day, once before dinner and before leaving home in the morning. You can't afford to take chances, so use the Exergen Accuracy is backed by more than 80 clinical studies, and it takes an accurate reading in seconds. It's the only home thermometer used and recommended by hospitals, doctors, and nurses. Quick and easy to use. You can count on Exergen to keep your family safe 24 hours a day.
Get huge savings with fuel rewards every time you fill up at one of your 26 area Forward Shell convenience stores. Get at least 5 cents off a gallon every single fill up and earn even more when you make purchases in store. You can regularly save 10, 20, even 30 cents off a gallon, which means less money goes into your tank and more stays into your wallet. Visit fuelrewards.com to sign up and start saving today. That's Fuel Rewards at your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go Forward.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit Inspire Sleep.
News.
This is your trophy.
It's been an amazing year.
Chicago, New York City
opens up the school doors.
Start up again.
Around the clock.
A fair impeachment trial. There's no way to have a fair trial.
On WSGW. This is the Stone Specialist Studios, 100.5 News Radio WSGW, 790 News Radio WSGW.
Where we are talking to Fuad Fakari, who is the musical director and conductor of the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra. So tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, a virtual concert. Tell us about the concert, Fuad.
So the concert will have a very special guest. We have our concertmaster, Elliot Heaton, who will be performing two pieces on that particular concert. The first one is the first movement from Vivaldi's Winter from the Four Seasons, and then by another composer, Argentinian composer, Astor Piazzolla, who wrote the Four Seasons of Buenos Aires, where he's from. And people would know Astor Piazzolla because he wrote these wonderful tango music that he actually modernized tango and added jazz elements to it and classical elements to the tango. So that's really an exciting part of the concert. We're also performing Dvorak's Serenade for Strings and Holberg Suite by Grieg. It's a terrific concert. And, you know, you and I, Art, always talk about how much rehearsal times we get, how you know, the cost involved in an orchestra. I have to tell you, I was so impressed with the musicians of the orchestra. We have not performed together with any regularity for probably over a year now.
Right.
And we came and we had one rehearsal for this concert on Saturday early morning, and then we recorded it later on in the day. And they did a terrific job. They really did.
So this was all one day. You rehearsed in the morning, recorded in the afternoon?
Right. Yep.
Wow.
We rehearsed it in the morning. Yeah, rehearsed it late, you know, early afternoon, and then recorded it later afternoon. It just, you know, I mean, they're difficult times right now. So we're going through. We're just trying to continue to connect with our audience, trying to continue to provide our product to our audience and to the region. But the times are tough when you can't rely on ticket sales. You can't bring in people to the venue. It's hard.
How big an ensemble is this?
This was not very large. This was about 22, 23 musicians. It's a string orchestra, so it was not a large orchestra.
So it's a string orchestra. Okay.
Yeah. Right. But chiefly, we had to do that also for, distancing them. We can't have them
right
to each other.
How does that affect the sound, out of curiosity, when you have them distanced?
I think it doesn't affect the sound as much as it affects the musicians' ability to play together, because, they're used to playing within close proximity to each other and listening to each other in a certain way.
Yeah.
And when you separate them, now they have to deal with that distance and the expectation of sound. There's just ever so slightly a fraction of a second when you're further away. The sound takes a little bit longer to travel, so they have to adjust to being together. But the sound was terrific. I was very, very pleased with the sound. They did a tremendous job.
So what's the next concert after this one?
The next concert after this one is our May concert, and that one we're hoping, again, as I mentioned before, that we can bring in audiences or partial audiences. And I programmed it a little bit larger, again, in the hopes that by May we would be able to bring more people on stage. And so we're doing Beethoven's 8th Symphony, and we're also featuring two of our musicians. We're doing a marimba concerto and the French horn concerto. So that the hopes there is that we can sort of begin ramping up and getting into the end of this season, setting us up for the next for next year. Yeah.
All right, so let's remind everybody again how they can sign up for tomorrow night's concert.
They can go on our website, SaginawBayOrchestra.com, and purchase a link for that particular concert and attend it that way.
And they'll be able to watch it for 30 days too, right? Which is good. You can watch it more than once.
That's right. Yes. Once you have the link, you can watch it more than once. Right.
So are you in Saginaw now or New York?
No, right now I'm back in Saginaw, I think within a couple of weeks.
Okay, well, let me know when you're back.
I will, absolutely.
And we'll talk to you then. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Art. Take care.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye now. Fuad Fakhari, he is the musical director, conductor of the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra. By the way, hello to Pat Johnston, because he doesn't know it, but I actually see him on camera. There you are, Pat. Hi there. I have a little image of him. He's in the studio where Terry Henney will have his farm show, and he's already turned on the camera so you can all watch. And I get to see his masked face. We'll take our last break, be back to close out and find out what's happening in the marketplace with Baird & Company when we return.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for a $20 gift certificate to King. Only $10. That's right, you're getting it half off. King's Fish and More is open Tuesday through Sunday and has such an eclectic menu, you're sure to find something that you love. Like the Eddie King Burger, their Southern Raised Catfish, or my personal favorites, the ribs. Do yourself a favor and head over to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Who will help you get there? You spent years working, taking care of your kids, saving money, and now you're nearing retirement. Now it's your turn. You get to decide where to go next. Will your retirement include travel? Do you have a guide to help you get there? Jason and Carl Kreiderman and their team at Great Lakes Investment Advisors have helped hundreds of families create their retirement roadmap. Don't let financial limitations take you off course. Jason and Carl want you to have the retirement you've worked so hard for. They can help you create a retirement roadmap that's tailored to your lifestyle and long-term financial goals. Call Jason and Carl Kreiderman and the team at Great Lakes Investment Advisors today at 988-1188 and schedule a visit. 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune in to Jason and Carl Kreiderman's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Investment advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor with the state of Michigan.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report. Immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-405-1603. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-405-1603. 800-405-1603. That's 800-405-1603. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
WynnBET is live in Michigan, bringing you real sports betting and online casino play with all the excitement of Wynn Las Vegas. Get in on all your favorite sports action, slots, and table games. Great promos, odds, and slot payouts are happening right now at WynnBET. Sign up today to receive a risk-free sports bet of up to $1,000 or a $100 casino wagers up to $1,250. Get the details at wynnbet.com and download now. Must be 21 or older and physically present in Michigan to participate. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
The Focus Show on WSGW, brought to you by Northeastern Paint Supply in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Focus, we thank you for joining us. We thank Fuad for being with us today. Time to move over to Baird & Company for our ticker tip of the day, and that is where we find Steve Anderson. Steve, good morning to you.
And a very good morning to you, too.
And is it a good morning in the markets?
It's not bad. Markets are mixed. Dow Jones Industrial is ahead by 28 points, or behind by 28 points, putting it at 31,405 on 308 million shares. The NASDAQ is ahead by 21, putting it at 14,047, and 619 million shares. So that's kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
And we keep talking about numbers that are pretty well up near the top of where they've ever been. So
yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It really is.
And your ticker tip for the day?
My ticker tip for the day is that sometimes we wind up with a situation where indices, indexes, an individual index, whatever you want, does not seem to reflect what you are perceiving going on in the world. Now, why would that be? It could be because maybe the company's doing better than what you would think it might. It might be making more money, might have a better outlook in the future, yet you emotionally feel not so happy about the way things are going. So that is why it's very important to be able to check your emotions at the door and allow yourself to bring a clean slate, fresh look at are companies making money and are they growing?
How do we get you to be that emotional barrier so that you can help us get where we're going?
Well, you can call us right here at Baird and Company in Saginaw, the number 790-5724, or you can look us up on the web at RW Baird, that's BAIRD.com, and look for the Saginaw branch.
Well, you have yourself a great weekend and stay safe.
I will. You do the same. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye-bye now. That was Steve Anderson at Baird & Company with our ticker tip of the day. 100.5 and 790 Farm Service with Farm Director Terry Henney will be along right after these notes.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went. And guess what? It did work for me. You know, my friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof, and it's 100% guaranteed. So what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what you got to lose. A very bad habit.
Stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, or weight. Only $49.99 guaranteed. Hypnosis designed to work without anxiety, irritability, or weight gain. Join Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar and lose the weight. Stop smoking or end anxiety for only $49.99 guaranteed or your money back. Because of coronavirus, seminar now online live Thursday, February 11th or Saturday, February 13th for the Saginaw area. Details at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for a $20 gift certificate to King's Fish and More for only $10. That's right, you're getting it half off. King's Fish and More is Sunday and has such an eclectic menu, you're sure to find something that you love, like the Eddie King Burger, their Southern Raised Catfish, or my personal favorites, the ribs. Do yourself a favor and head over to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. He identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Okay, class, let's bump it up to 9.
Come on, Limu, keep pedaling. We got to build our endurance to let more people know that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Pick up the pace, bird legs.
Hey, don't talk to Limu like that.
I'm not, I'm talking to you.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
Now, the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henney and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy and snowy good morning to most of you, and not too much for others. Really, the snow is tapering off. We just have some light snow right now. It's been kind of a steady light snow early this morning, all the way through the morning hours, creating a little bit of an issue out there when it came to our road conditions. Some spots very slippery, but things are beginning to change just a little, and as we go into the afternoon, we're actually going to see a little break in the clouds and a little bit of sun here and there. But for right now, 17 degrees at the airport, 15 at Radio Center. Downtown Midland is at 17. Downtown Bay City is coming in at 16 degrees. We have a northeast breeze at 8. That's been the culprit as far as delivering any snow for us, because we really don't have a system affecting our weather. As of right now, there is a low pressure system well to the south of us down in Louisiana, and that low is going to be tracking off to the east. But once again, for the folks along the Atlantic seaboard, in particular right now, the Carolinas, both North and South Carolina, are getting hit with some heavy snow in spots and some ice in other spots. Over the last 24 hours, we have seen icy conditions creating all sorts of accident issues all the way from Texas into the Carolinas and the Virginias. And probably the most notable one is the multi-vehicle pileup in the Fort Worth, Texas area that did result in 6 deaths down there. So the ice was quite bad. And many of the municipalities down south, they just don't know how to treat things the way we do up here as far as our roads go. And as a result, it does create some rather hazardous road conditions. And they just don't have this a lot. But when they do, it can be death-defying. And in this particular case, it was, and it has been. As we go through the weekend, they're going to continue to see inclement weather down there. But all eyes are going to be on a couple of systems that we'll talk about in just a moment. Not nearly as cold as what it has been over the past several days. We did have a few below zero temperatures out there, and right now in the Upper Peninsula, Ironwood is reporting 5 below zero. Sawyer Gwynn has 7. Sault Ste. Marie has a wind chill of 10 below zero right now. They are looking at 3 degrees. As far as below zero temperatures go, Pelston, once again, was below 4 below zero. Gladwin, you dropped down to 8 below zero because, yes, it was relatively clear, especially across northern Michigan. Mayo dropped down to 6 below zero. St. Ignace was 2 below. West Branch had 8 below zero as well. Atlanta looking at 4 below. Indian River at 4 below. Other than that, that was just about it, but there was a little bit more in the way of snow across northern Michigan as well. All of that a function of lake effect type activity. We did see anywhere from 2 to 4 inches at a number of locations across northern Michigan, and it does appear as though we're going to be looking at a chance of some snow tomorrow in the Great Lakes Bay region as well as in northern Michigan. And don't be surprised if southern Michigan sees a little bit of light snow too. So we very easily could have some slick road conditions for tomorrow. Snowy day, especially in the morning, all of it lake effect for us right now. Little break in the clouds and a glimpse of sun here and there as we go through the afternoon. We're going to warm up a little bit more. 22 is our projected high. We should be at 31. And it's going to be a while before we get that warm. Looking for low tonight of 12. We should be at 17 as far as a low goes. Sun will set this evening at 6:03. Rise tomorrow morning at 7:37. Clouds will be rolling back in after that chance of some break in the clouds this afternoon and early this evening. And then during the day tomorrow, it's just going to be cloudy and it will be snowy. Don't be surprised if you see a couple of inches on your back porch later on tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. As we go through the day, I think the best chance of seeing measurable amount of snow will be later in the afternoon and the evening. As we told you yesterday, we'll have an east breeze about 10 miles per hour, 22 for a high. So again, slick conditions. If you're going to be going out somewhere, whether it be for dinner or just to see some folks on Valentine's Eve, plan on taking a little bit more time getting to where you want to go. Partly cloudy skies after midnight on Saturday night. And as a result, our low on Saturday night will be 3. Sunday, partly cloudy, maybe a few more clouds later in the day, a northwest wind, so it won't be quite as warm on Sunday. 16 degrees is our projected high, and we're going to drop down below zero on Sunday night. Don't be surprised if you see about 4, 5, 6 below zero with some flurries around, especially on Sunday night. Monday is simply going to be a blah day, 17 degrees, clouds, but then a low of 8 on Monday night, and the snow is going to be moving in. Because Tuesday, we're going to be watching a frontal system along with a low pressure system that is going to be developing down in Louisiana and Arkansas. That baby is going to take a northeast to north course, and it will be moving up right close to Michigan and the Great Lakes. We will see the west side, the back side of that low, the snowy side of that back low. And some folks are saying we could very easily look at about 3 to 5 inches of snow out of the system that will affect our weather on Tuesday. Tapering off as we go through the afternoon and the evening on Tuesday, a low of 5 after a high of 19 on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, we're going to work our way into the 20s. And by Thursday, we could see 28 degrees. But again, it's going to be mostly cloudy with nighttime lows in the low to mid-teens, midweek approaching the weekend. Record high in the state is 57. That was set way back in 1932. The record low, 19 below zero, set in 1917. Incidentally, we had 3 straight days of record low temperatures in the Great Lakes Bay region set in 1917. And when you take a look at the record books for the month of February, the 19 teens from 1911 to 1918, there were more record low temperatures set in the month of February than any other year or any other decade. So that period of time was pretty cold. That, in a nutshell, is what we're looking at as far as our weather goes. Long-range outlook to take us through the 25th. Below average on the temperatures and normal on the moisture. We'll have a little bit more on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Gary Kaufman standing by over at Star of the West. We'll find out what these crazy markets are doing. But before we get to all that, I want to remind you that the weather forecast is brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Lots of things going on right now, but one thing that a lot of you folks would probably like to know, because you're going to save yourself some money, the parts sale going on right now at Tri-County Equipment. But that sale ends on Saturday, so it'd be a really good idea to stop by Tri-County Equipment. You're going to save on mower belts, tillage, lights, blades, gator accessories, and a whole lot more. 10% off on oil, 12% off on filters, and you get additional deals in the parts catalog that many of you had received in the mail. If you didn't get one, stop by any of the locations of Tri-County Equipment, pick up one, and save yourself some dough as you get ready for spring. Remember, when you're talking John Deere and Michigan's Thumb, as well as Saginaw, Reese, and Birch Run, you are talking Tri-County Equipment, working harder, doing more. Gary Kaufman, good morning. How are you?
Good morning there, Terry, and doing well, thank you.
What are we looking at right now on the board?
Well, we got kind of a mixed market here on a Friday, Terry. Currently, we've got cash wheat up 2 at 606 on the white, 571 on the red. New crop, we can call that up 2 as well at $6 on the white, 565 on the red. Cash corn currently down 3 at 503. New crop is down a penny at 402. Cash soybeans up 2 at $13.29, and new crop is up 3 right now at $11.12, Terry.
Nice to see a little green there.
Yeah, it's kind of a quiet Friday. We got the holiday weekend coming up here, President's Day on Monday, and markets are closed on Monday. So, from that Tuesday report, Terry, I think we're just kind of trying to recover, with a little bit of a shocker, especially in the corn arena, gave us kind of a bearish report, and we had corn from the highs almost down 50 cents, but we kind of got some of that back Wednesday and yesterday. And today it's just kind of a quiet day overall.
So at this stage of the game, it's take a deep breath.
Yeah, you got a little, basically technical trading going on. You got some of the 50-day moving averages, and we're just kind of hovering around that in the wheat arena. And then, demand still last week, if you look at soybean sales and corn sales, definitely pretty strong. China's going to be out of the market here next week, Terry. They got their lunar holiday next week, so there's going to be pretty quiet on the China front for next week, as they'll be on holiday all week long. And we'll continue to watch South America. Some of the items we're looking at there is that Mato Grosso area in Brazil is just 8% planted on corn compared to 40% at this time a year ago. So that's something we're going to kind of watch moving forward as well. So.
All righty. Well, you have a good weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday. I'll be around.
All right.
If you're going to be around. There we
I'll
go.
be around.
Take care, Gary.
Yep. Have a good weekend, Terry.
I will. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. A little bit more in depth as far as what our market is concerned. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer is standing by. The market report brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline. This area certified ag dealer. Make a new Ram commercial truck a part of your everyday use for family, farm, and business today. From Schaefer and Beerline since 1852, where family and service sells cars. And by the folks at Thumb Bank and Trust, serving the needs of farmers for well over 125 years. They've got a couple locations in Bay City, also Cassidy, Caseville, Pigeon, and Bad Axe. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. And right now they're working with a lot of farmers on those PPP loans. We'll have more on that in just a moment. Good morning. How you doing, Doug?
I'm good. How you doing?
Not too bad. Finishing the week off with a few pluses here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In oil, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was afraid of.
That would be a new high for the price of oil.
Wow.
So, yeah, you know who is doing her job just fine. Another nail in our coffin. Oh, by the way, read an article about Venezuela. They had 55% inflation last month.
Really?
Yeah. The socialists took over Hugo Chavez in 1999.
Yeah.
So it's been 21 years of bad government. And that's what you get.
I guess.
Let it sink in.
No, they voted him in, right?
Yeah, the first guy got voted in, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. Anyway, here's your numbers. The March corn is 538 1/4, down 2 3/4. The December corn 452 1/4, down 1/4 penny. March soybeans 1369 1/4, up 1 3/4 cents. The November soybeans 1177, up 2 3/4. The March wheat is 636 3/4, up 3 1/4. And December wheat is, I should say, July wheat is 631 3/4. That's up 3 1/2. Crude oil 59.22, up $1.08 a barrel. Heating oil is 175.39, up 2.2 cents. Gasoline 181.08, up 3.2 cents. Natural gas 291 1/4, that's up a nickel. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar gets you $26.94 at the border. That's down 8 ticks. The yen is at 104.95, up 23 ticks. The euro's at 121.24, down 4 ticks. The dollar's at 90.43, that's up 2 ticks. Gold's at $18.2750, up $2.60. Silver's at $27.39, that's up 35 cents. Platinum's at $12.60, it's up $13.
All right, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good weekend, and we will talk to you on Tuesday, right? Okay.
Okay.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Well, he mentioned about all sorts of activities coming up, and we will highlight some of them. One thing in particular that we mentioned yesterday, and we want to mention it again today, Bader & Sons 29th annual auction. Now, that's not going to be next week. It's going to be Saturday, February the 27th, and it starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. The one thing that they would like you to know, Mr. Farmer, is if you have equipment that you would like to sell at this annual auction, you can do it consignment. They've got that available to you. So all you got to do is contact Bader & Sons, their St. Louis location, and see what you can set up on that. Coming up on Monday, we're going to talk to Mike Hufftailing. Mike is with PC Ag Solutions, and he has just announced over the last couple of days that they're going to have a Winter Agronomy Coffee Series. So he'll be talking a whole lot more about that on Monday. We'll be talking to him. The Agronomy Coffee Series put on by PC Ag Solutions will start on Tuesday, February the 16th. And they're going to be at 4 different farm shops in the area, in our listening area. And RSVP is required. Seating obviously is going to be limited. So you might want to try to get a hold of PC Ag Solutions and get more information on that.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Cover more ground and get more savings on the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick. Gas-powered with a top speed of 40 miles per hour and best-in-class acceleration and handling with cargo, all backed by a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty. Get the Sidekick now for 0 down, 0% APR for 60 months or save up to $1,750 now through February 28th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. Get a great deal on Kubota utility tractors. Our powerful, versatile lineup is built to do it all. So whether you need to mow, rake, stack, lift, or pull, get it done right with a Kubota utility tractor. Right now, get a Kubota utility tractor for 0 down and 0% APR plus save up to $1,000 now through March 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for a full disclaimer.
See Kim Weiss at Lingle Equipment, 3001 Sawyer Drive along I-75 at the M81 Carroll exit, just south of the Zilwaukee Bridge, Saginaw. Call Kim today at 989-754-7801 or email at k.weiss@lingle1.com.
The Michigan Wheat Program is going to be holding their Wheat-tastic 2021 winter webinars. They'll start next Wednesday, February the 17th. They'll be focusing on wheat marketing for the year and also a lot of other special features. They've got quite a lineup of speakers. Matter of fact, so many of them really that I think we should probably tell you a lot more about it individually, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Monday morning at 9 o'clock on the Farm Page website, as well as the WSGW Facebook, the Farm Page Facebook, and our WCEN 94.5 The Moose Facebook. We're going to be talking to Dennis Pennington and Jody Pollock Newsom all about the events that are coming up. There's 6 of them, and we'll give you a preview of the first 3. So join us on Facebook Live as we have our social stream live with Jody Pollock Newsom and Dennis Pennington. Again, that's Monday morning at 9 o'clock. So check us out.
This is Ben Schott, President and CEO of Thumb Bank and Trust. As we all know, 2020 was a difficult year for all of us in our communities. Thumb Bank and Trust celebrated our 125th year in business in 2020, and it was tough not being able to commemorate our 125th year with in-person celebrations. Throughout the pandemic, we were able to process hundreds of PPP loans to help so many during the difficult times. With the recent passage of legislation, there is going to be a second round of PPP loans, and Thumb Bank will once again be ready to help our community. Whether you didn't receive a PPP loan the first time, or if you think you'll qualify for a second draw PPP loan, we are here to assist you. Call us today or visit our website at www.thumb.bank to get all the PPP information you need. We wish you back into prosperity and hope you have a healthy 2021 as we hopefully get this pandemic behind us. Thumb Bank and Trust, with locations in Pigeon, Caseville, Cass City, Bad Axe, and Bay City, an equal opportunity lender and member FDIC.
Are you going to have dicamba applied on some of your acreage in 2021? Well, if you do, Andy Eubank with Michigan Ag Today has some advice for you.
If dicamba will be sprayed on your farm this year, training is a requirement. And it's a good idea to have that training even if you won't be the one spraying.
Err on the side of caution. And even if you're not going to spray and you're going to use a commercial applicator, it's good to know all the requirements.
That is Mark Groth, North American Commercial Stewardship Weed Control Manager at Bayer Crop Science Division. Bayer is making dicamba application certification easy with 2 online formats. EPA dicamba approval does require anyone using the product be certified, and there are label changes this year.
And that includes the application window has changed. So for like dicamba tolerant soybeans, it's up to and including June 30th. There's also the requirement for volatility reducing agents such as Vapor Grip Extra. The buffers have changed a little bit, as well as the application rates.
Bayer's product is XtendiMax herbicide with Vapor Grip technology. You'll be approved to spray that restricted use pesticide or other approved dicamba formulations after completing one of 2 online training sessions, either the self-led course or live webinars. The self-led course goes at your own pace and can last just 45 minutes.
You can go backwards in the module and listen to something more than once if you like that, or you can choose more of a classroom setting, and those will be led by a Bayer crop science weed management expert.
Bayer training meets federal requirements, so those completing it will earn the necessary dicamba training certificate. State and federal material is covered. Training is approved in most, but not all states. Details at roundupreadyextend.com/training.
That's Andy Eubank. We'll be right back.
Go the extra mile with Bader & Sons Company and the unstoppable John Deere Gator XUV 835. When other utility vehicles take a rain check, we help you take the wheel and enjoy the thrill of the ride. With factory-installed 3-wide seating, heating, and AC, the XUV 835 is our coolest, most comfortable Gator yet. Isn't it time you took a John Deere Gator for a test drive? To learn more, go to greentractors.com. From Southeast Michigan to the bridge, let the experts at Bader & Sons Company show you why we are outstanding in our field.
Coming up next week as well on Wednesday, this will be at 10 o'clock on Wednesday, we'll be talking to North Dakota bean dealers on our Talkin' Beans, another feature that we will have on the Facebook, on the farm Facebook, as well as WSGW and WCEN. We'll be back at 12:30 with an update, so you stick around. But right now, we're joining radio stations all across the country by playing our national anthem.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Steve Kathan. Attention shifts at the Trump impeachment trial to his defense team after 2 days of arguments from House impeachment managers. Attorney David Schoen says they'll spend about 3 to 4 hours refuting the case.
The evidence they have, under no circumstances, would make out a case for incitement. There's no possible way the president would have welcomed any kind of danger to the vice president or condoned any kind of violence toward the vice president.
Louisiana Republican Bill Cassidy.
You don't make a decision as a juror until you hear both sides. Period. End of story.
It's not clear if House managers will call witnesses. CBS's Nancy Cordes has more on the new CDC plan out today for school reopenings.
According to the guidelines that CBS News has viewed, schools would fall into 4 color-coded categories. They would reopen with full in-person learning in the schools with low community spread. Those would be the blue and yellow zones. As long as there was as much social distancing